Sports. We are the fourth. We are the West.
This series has become a home run epidemic. And this is a swing and a well-hit ball. Deep right field and gone! A three-run shot and it ties the game. Monday, the Bronx Bombers hit 5 home runs, leaving the Rangers feeling ill. Fly ball center field, well struck again. Now the shield's way back there, and he can't get to it. And Torres is homered for a second time tonight. Tuesday, the Rangers gave us just what the doctor ordered. And he hits his ball out to center field. Going back on it, Hicks, he'll look up, and that one's gone! A 3-run blast for Profar. Tonight is the last appointment to see if the pounding will ever stop. Well, if history's any lesson, the pounding not likely to stop tonight. Yankees and Rangers, final game in this series. 13 home runs in the first 2. Can't wait to see what is in store tonight. Welcome in, everybody. Great to be here. I'm Dave Raymond with CJ Nitkowski. The first 2 games have been as advertised. Lots of power, lots of home runs, and yet the guy we're talking about tonight, the guy who's driven in all the runs, Jurickson Profar.
We've talked about Jurickson quite a bit this year. Of course, he's getting that opportunity in the 2018 season because of all the injuries. We thought maybe he'd be a little bit more of a role player, but he is getting steady at bats right now, steady playing time, and he has really cashed it in. You see 8 RBIs for him over the last 5 games, a lot of opportunities to drive in runs, and he has been doing it. That is the most in Major League Baseball you see right there since May 18th, and showing a little bit of power too. This home run that we saw, an absolute line drive out to dead center field. So Jurickson has been very solid in those spots, but not only that, he has been very good against left-handed pitching, and this was a legitimate question coming into the season because you look at what has happened for him over the course of his career, those first 4 years, limited playing time, but just a 188 batting average against lefties. Well, this year, he has changed that narrative with a 306 batting average. That has allowed Jeff Bannister to put him in the lineup a little bit more against lefties, but not only that, to bring him up in the lineup, and he'll get an opportunity against a lefty tonight in the veteran CC Sabathia. The lefty will be going for the New York Yankees this evening. Now against Texas, he has not been that good over the course of his career. You see the 0-3 record, the high ERA, and so the Rangers have had his number. Now he's a little bit of a different guy. The velocity is down, slider usage is up. We're going to get into that tonight and what has made CC Sabathia successful at this age.
All right, so he's the front end for the Yankees. On the back end for the Rangers, look, when things are going well for closers, they're not looking for attention, but we're putting Keone Kela in the spotlight when we come back. Rangers baseball is brought to you by Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. about it now. More of the great sort of early summer weather. Once again tonight here at Globe Life Park, Yankees and Rangers. Final time in this series. Rangers with a chance to win the series tonight. Could be a close game. Could mean more. Keone Kela, who was great last night picking up his ninth save.
He certainly was, and Kela's done an excellent job in this role, and something that he has wanted for a long time. The opportunity this season has been there for Kela. We know he's got the high-powered fastball, the good breaking ball, and he has no fear, which is so important in that role. Of course, some guys just struggling to fill that closer role because it's such a big spot, so much pressure. Not an issue for Kela, who has been very, very good in these spots for the Rangers. You see him 9 of 9 so far this season. No earned runs in save situations. How many times do we talk about closers and how good they are in those spots as opposed to maybe the non-save situations? And you see there, he has won or finished 14 of the Rangers' 19 wins this year. And for more on Keone Kela, let's throw it down to Emily Jones.
Yeah, CJ, don't look now, but it does appear the Rangers do have a closer in Keone Kela. It's, of course, been a sticking point for this team over the last several seasons. So to see a guy kind of take to this role and really run with it has been a welcome change for this organization. When talking to Keone about it, he admits that he felt honestly naked when he first started in this role, when he would come out to the mound in the ninth inning in those situations. It took some getting used to, but now he does feel like he's acclimated to the role. He feels like he's embraced it, the situation, the pressure that comes along with it. He feels like he's really built for the closer's role.
He has been fantastic so far for the Rangers, and hoping to keep that going tonight. Maybe it would mean a Rangers lead late as we take a look at the Yankees starting lineup. Gardner leading it off. Judge, Gregorius, Stanton, Aaron Hicks, Neil Walker, and Duhar the rookie, Romine, and Gleyber Torres. First pitch delivered, popped up, and caught. One away. That's how you do it.
Let's take a look at this replay, because it's a little bit of a different sun. Watch Isaiah Kiner-Falefa as this ball was hit in the air, lost it for a second, did a good job of continuing to track it, ultimately takes over, and a good job by Doug Fister to make sure that he is over there, knowing that their sun is going to be a little bit of an issue with the earlier start this evening, but it was all said and done. They got their man. There's that sun.
Well, one pitch, one out, and Judge takes a little low. Big Aaron Judge, right fielder, batting second today. Among the top 10 in the league in home runs and RBIs. Not a huge surprise there. Also walks, strikeouts, on base percentage. One of the great offensive weapons in the game.
Yeah, he really does bring it all to the table. Exit velocity came into this series leading all of Major League Baseball. Hits it hard, but he's also patient, right? He's not your typical slugger that we're seeing these days, where it's a lot of big swings all the time. Yes, there's some swing and miss in his game, but he knows how to work a count. Also came to this game with a 4.4 pitches per plate appearance number. That was the best on the Yankees.
Well, he rolls one to Profar at short. Guzman can't handle it. And so the Yankees have their first base runner on the error. E6, or rather E3. Well, we'll see how they score. I guess it could go either way.
Probably would have to be an E6 since the ball is in the dirt, as you see Jerks and Profar. And that is one that Ronald Guzman will tell you he certainly expects to handle. Anytime that ball hits the dirt, it'd be pretty tough to give that to the first baseman. Listen, picks are not easy. I think Ronald will tell you that's one of the easier ones, but doesn't mean that you can or should expect your first baseman to get all of those.
I do, though.
You do, yeah, of course.
I mean, it was a one hopper.
Yeah. We're going to go out there tomorrow, you and I. We'll
Love it.
throw you some one hoppers. Let's see how that goes.
And some refreshments. One strike pitch to Didi Gregorius, just a little bit low. 1-1 the count. So Gregorius batting in the 3-hole today. Had been cleanup of the first 2 games. Giancarlo Stanton takes over those duties today. Fister's 1-1. Jumps ahead of him here. Ball and 2 strikes. Now Gregorius at 247. Good power. Last year 25 home runs. The year before had 20 out of that shortstop position. He's already at 10 this year. Quite a third of the way through the season. And he stays alive, 1-2. It is early, but I couldn't help but get a kick out of one statistical category in which Gregorius leads this team. You know, when they come to town, you think of Aaron Judge and Stanton, guys you're going to work around in the batting order. As this ball lifted out to right field, Chu goes back, and he will run out of room. Gregorius with a 2-run homer, his 11th of the year. And the Yankees jump out first today, 2-0.
The Yankees have not seen a Didi Gregorius home run in a while. He got off to an unbelievable start, and he gets a pitch that is in unintentionally. Good grip, good look at the grip right there on the changeup from Doug Fister, who was trying to throw that ball away from Didi, but it came back. And that has been Didi Gregorius' strength this year, is pitches that are on the inner half of the plate. And that's why Doug Fister was not trying to throw the ball there.
Stanton takes a strike. It's 1-1. That's the Yankees' 9th home run of the series. 14th overall between the two teams. And now a little comebacker. Fister can't quite grab it. Odor with a bare hand. He can't get it either. Stanton is on via the infield hit.
Mentioned that Gregorius had not hit a home run in a while. April 27th was the last time that he went deep. As you see this ball here, Doug Fister can't quite get to it, not hit hard at all. The Rangers pitchers have done a really good job of getting in on Stanton in this series and trying to avoid him, letting him get those big arms extended. And that's execution of a pitch, but unfortunately an unlucky result.
Well, frustrating inning so far for Fister. The error perhaps proving very costly. And now Aaron Hicks, and he'll take a strike. 2 runs are in, a man out there, only 1 out. Yankees 31 wins and 14 losses. And they have been on a great run lately. This ball hit sharply foul. And they were in a kind of a virtual tie with Boston. Boston at 33 and 15 atop the East. Rangers, meanwhile, 19 wins, 31 losses. They're 12.5 back in the West. This ball hit hard out to right field, and Hicks is on. Stanton drops anchor at second.
Batting sixth for first baseman, number 14, Neil Walker.
Take a look at this pitch here. Breaking ball from Doug Fister, that curveball that he throws, and it was away, stayed up just a little bit. And Aaron Hicks does a nice job of going out and hooking that ball, lining it into right field.
So now a couple of base runners for Neil Walker. Switch hitter bats left-handed against Fister. Walker 212 average. And just the 1 home run. You see 4 for 14 in his career against Fister. Now with the slightly earlier start time today, and we're earlier by an hour, we might get warmer temperatures. It's 91 degrees at game time, and that's the big key of those shadows and sunlight. The contrast you get this time of day, you would think a bit of an advantage for a pitcher. So far, though, the Yankees have made it work in their favor. Gregorius with a home run. 2 hits followed, all set up by the throwing error at short. 2-1 the count on Walker.
Yeah, a lot of times you will have an advantage as a pitcher in the spots where you have maybe where the mound is completely in the sun and home plate area, batter's box is not in shadows. And the issue there for hitters is that the ball will go from basically light to dark, and picking up spin can be a little bit more of a challenge. But the way the sun is coming through right now, Doug Fister is in the shade, and so is the batter's box. There's a spot of sun. It's kind of a little bit off to the side of the mound. I don't know if it's affecting how guys are seeing the ball based on what we've seen from the Yankees so far. I don't think it is, but you're absolutely right. And then the background too, there's a really good look right there, right? Doug Fister in the shadows, but then you look out starting at second base and you see pretty bright with the sun at second base into center field.
This one lifted out into left field. Playable. Rule gets there. 2 away.
Well, let's get to the Doug Fister pitch arsenal. He has been moving along quickly. Now we'll get that opportunity to do that. Two-seam fastball 57% of the time. You see the cutter, curveball, changeup, about even usage on all of those. The curveball has been the best of the secondary pitches. No home runs allowed on that pitch from Doug Fister, and just a 100 batting average against. It's also been his best swing and miss pitch. And I know that's not necessarily Doug Fister's game, but the whiff rate on the curveball, 31%.
Miguel Andujar takes a strike. Andujar, good numbers for the year. The 5 homers, the 17 RBIs. Talented young third baseman and a holdout. 0-2 here. Just turned 23 years old about a month ago. Last year the Yankees working through Chase Headley to start the year at third base. He struggled enough that they went out and traded for Todd Frazier from the White Sox. Ended up, of course, winning 91 games, getting to the postseason, and falling just short of another World Series by 1 game. All they needed was to win 1 more against Houston, and they would have been the American League representative in the World Series.
You really wonder, would that have changed the destiny of Aaron Boone, the opportunity to manage his team now? Some executives with the Yankees that after the season said even if they won the World Series that they would have moved on from Joe Girardi. I have a hard time believing that that would be the case, but things happened the way that they did, and they have themselves a new manager.
2-2 on Andujar. Well, if there's one franchise in the game that would, I don't know, just get away with firing a manager who had won 2 World Series in 10 years, again, hypothetically, had they won last year, it would be the Yankees.
Aaron Boone coming off that first ejection last night. Big moment for him. I wonder if that is as important to a big league manager, if they really remember, right? You remember your first hit, first time you step in a big league clubhouse on the field. I wonder if you really remember as you get older in the years past that first time you got kicked out of the game.
Up the middle. Odor with a throw to first, and it's wide, and everybody is safe. Tough play for Odor, and Andujar with the infield hit, and the bases are loaded.
No luck right now for Doug Fister as the New York Yankees are hitting some balls in perfect spots. It wasn't hit that hard. A good attempt by Rougned Odor, but a really difficult play, and I don't think even a strong throw that was on line would have gotten Andujar in that spot. Some soft contact. We have the error as well. Yes, the home run was hit pretty hard, but a couple of these base hits have not been hit that hard, and so for Doug Fister, it's 4 hits now here in the first inning.
So Austin Romine, who gets the starting catcher today. Gary Sanchez left the game yesterday, and we did not know why. And we found out after the game that he was cramping, and so he left the game. They pumped fluids in him all night. He's better today. Could have gone, but Aaron Boone today saying before the game, he said, "Well, Romine's hot." Yeah, he's a glove first catcher, but he's hitting .341. He homered last night, and so Boone figured he's healthy, he's fine. We'll give Sanchez a day to continue to hydrate, and Romine run that bat out there again. So that's why he's in the order today, batting 8th. And the bats with the bases loaded here, the count goes to 2-1.
The Yankees have been very good in these spots. You see what Austin Romine has done with his runners in scoring position, crushing it at .462. As a team with the bases loaded, the Yankees hitting .341. 1 grand slam. That is second best in the game. First in the American League. The Giants of all teams, the San Francisco Giants, hitting .364 this year with the bases loaded. And I say that as a surprise just because the Giants are having not a great year. Game under .500 right now. 2 games back in what has turned into an odd National League West.
3-1 to Romine, and that is ball 4. So Fister, who continues to struggle in this first inning, walks in a run, and it's 3-0. I say struggle. He's just thrown a lot of pitches and been the victim of a little bit of bad luck here. So he'll just go to work on Gleyber Torres. Hicks is at third and Duhar at second, Romine at first, and Torres, as Profar has been sort of the offensive leader for the Rangers, you could certainly argue that Torres has been that guy for the Yankees in this series. 2 homers on Monday, another home run yesterday for Torres. Been a tough out.
You just saw.
Gets one on the ground right side. Odor should handle it. He does, and the inning is over. But 3-run scores. The Yankees bat around. Now the Rangers will go to work. Nothing Yankees. Look, you gotta do it for somebody. Do it for the former president of the United States of America.
Where is our American pride right now for these Rangers down early? But certainly plenty of time for a comeback here.
Well, the Rangers, here's what they're going to run out there today. Delano DeShields leading it off in center field. Chu in right field today bats second. Kiner Falefa at third. Mazzara the DH. Then it's Profar at short. Odor at second. Rua, Guzman, and Carlos Perez catching and rounding things out for the Rangers. Our Southwest starting lineup. DeShields takes one right in the zone for a strike. CC Sabathia, a 2-1 record and a .240 earned run average. It's his 9th start of the year. And Delano wanted to bunt that one. 0-2 the count. 18th big league season for Sabathia, who spent a little time on the DL earlier this year. A right hip strain. Hits the outside corner, and just like that, carves up Delano DeShields one away.
And this is the pitch you got to be aware of with CC Sabathia. Take a look at that backdoor slider. That is executed perfectly as Delano looks at that pitch and a little stunned. Here's the pitch arsenal for CC Sabathia, and I say, well, you got to be ready for that pitch because he throws it 35% of the time. He's got his 4-seam fastball that he also throws at that rate. It's a 2-seamer and a changeup as well, but the slider has been the story for CC Sabathia over these last couple of years. A pitch that has just become more and more prevalent for him, using it a lot more. Just to kind of give you an example, go back to 2010, 8 seasons ago. He was throwing that pitch 16% of the time, so nearly a 20% increase in slider usage for CC as the fastball velocity has gone down. The slider usage has gone up.
1-1 the count on Chu, who has reached base in 9 straight games. Ooh. extended corner call there by Nick Lentz, our plate umpire.
Let's take a look. Another slider. That one appeared to be just off the plate. We certainly know that Chu knows the zone as good as anybody. And it's important to first couple of hitters, when you do see some calls that might be a little bit wide, you got to say something to the umpire, because it's the beginning of the game. If you disagree, and especially for a guy that commands the kind of respect that Shin-Soo Choo does, just want to put it in his ear a little bit and try to see if you can get that strike zone tightened up.
Low, 2-2. Can you stick it in his ear?
Don't want to do that. That would probably be taking it a little bit too far, unless you're looking to take the rest of the evening off. You could go down that path.
2-2 the count, and Chu takes low again, so a full count. And Chu's been getting on at a 335 clip. The average a little below 250, but as I mentioned, he has that 9-game streak going right now of reaching base safely. He's hitting 294 during that time, and he turns away from ball 4. Watch some close ones there at the end.
He certainly did. That was a good call, though, and I think CC wanted to get that call, but that one, I think, went around the plate. It's kind of an accidental front door slider. As you see, Romine, he was actually set up middle. There's a good look at the grip. Started in off the plate and stayed off the plate.
So the Rangers have their first base runner, and it brings up Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Batting third today, playing third base. The job he has done. Of course, he was a bit of an Iron Man after getting called up and asked to play in a couple of different positions. He played 25 straight games until Beltre came back, and then of course Beltre shortly thereafter re-aggravated his hamstring, and Kiner-Falefa right back in there. Well, since that streak was broken, has now played in 8 of the last 11 games. Man at first. 2-0 pitch, and that's a strike.
Well, not only has Isaiah Kiner-Falefa been getting an opportunity, but has been taking advantage of it offensively. Check this out. He has reached base safely 4+ times in a game, 4 times already this season. He is the first Ranger batter to do that since 1974. Of course, I know you knew this, and that is, of course, in their first 35 career games. Mike Hargrove, godfather of our own Emily Jones. I knew you knew that. You knew that, didn't you?
I found that out today.
Yeah, me too.
From you.
And I found it out today from Emily. Pretty neat little tie-in.
Line drive right to Gregorius. 2 away. Well, good contact, but a hard out. 2 away. It brings up Nomar Mazar, the Rangers' designated hitter. And he is tonight's TXU Energy power player to watch. Maz has done really well against these Cy Young Award winning pitchers. He's faced 6 of them this year, a couple on multiple occasions, and how about a 364 average with 3 bombs, and the OPS at over 1,300 against former Cy Young Award winning pitchers.
That's a really cool number. Give you an idea of how Nomar Mazara has kind of turned his game up when he's gone up against some of the best in the game. He's having a great year. You see what he's done here so far with that 270 batting average, the OPS at 830. He's hit 20 home runs in each of the last 2 seasons. Obviously, that pace is up right now. Could be knocking on the door of 30 before this season is over.
In a hole here, 0-2. Sabathia's Cy Young came with the Cleveland Indians in 2007, a 19-win year for him. Through 241 innings that year. Two-strike pitch, and that's flared foul. Well, the last 10 games have been a little tougher on Nomar. He was hitless yesterday in a couple of at-bats, but also walked twice. 6 hits in the last 10 games, 6 for 38. Average is dipped now down to 270. He was hovering right near that 300 mark. Kiner Falefa running. The pitch is low. Throw to second base. Sorry, that's Chu. Not in time. And Chu with his second stolen base.
What an excellent time to go. That is a really smart move by Chu. You got yourself an 0-2 count. You got a pitcher who throws a lot of off speed. You see Chu there going and getting a really nice jump, putting some pressure on Austin Romine. You got to believe that a breaking pitch is coming, and very likely it's going to be out of the zone, and most likely down in the dirt or close to it. So that's an ideal time to go. Try to get yourself in scoring position. Worst case scenario, if he's out, get Nomar Mazara a new count to start off the second inning. Smart play.
Sabathia's 1-2. And this one out to center field. Coming on for it is Hicks. Looking into that sunshine. He'll make the play, and the inning is done. So the Rangers come up empty in their half for the first. It's 3-0 Yankees after one.
Nothing, and it's time to give you the Rangers defense, which is delivered to you by Methodist Health Systems. Ryan Rua, Delano DeShields, and Chu in the outfield for the Rangers this evening. And quick look at the infield. Gotta be quick with Doug Fister, Kiner Falefa, Profar, Odor, and Guzman, and Carlos Perez getting the start behind home plate tonight. He doesn't mess around. Doug Fister's pace this year, 18.4. It's the second time in between each pitch what he averages, and it certainly seems like it's even shorter than that. League average is right around 23. Doug Fister has never been at 20 or above ever in his career.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, how far back do they go with that? Do they go back like to your time? Would we know what your rate would have been?
I mean, when
that's what matters to me.
I wouldn't want to know. I've never. It wasn't even a stat that existed, or at least that we talked about. It was just like, hey man, pick it up.
Oh, so you heard that every now and then?
I knew. I had my wife tell me, boy, it seemed like it was taking you a long time to pitch. That's probably accurate. So I see as far back. I see 2009 here for Fister. I don't know how far back it goes. Good question.
2-2 the count to Gardner. Late swing there, and he fights that one off.
Yeah, it was. And Brett Gardner has really struggled on the road this season. Overall, it hasn't been a good offensive year for him, but especially away from Yankee Stadium. He's hitting just 161. That road batting average has been a struggle. He had the night off last night.
34 years old, longest tenured Yankee, and scoots away from ball 3. Gardner, though, last year coming off a career high 21 home runs. A big year last season. Drafted in 05 by the Yankees, and he bounces this one to second base. Odor right there in front of it, and there's one away. Let's find Emily Jones.
Yeah, progressive fan of the game time, and it is Jeff Cannon because I'm a fan of commitment. He's clearly committed to this mustache. How long did it take you to do?
I can do this in about 2 months.
2 months, okay. And what kind of product are we talking about?
Beeswax.
Beeswax,
Yep.
okay. And I stumbled upon a very also interesting fact about you. You also have a tie to Chris Martin.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Sorry.
Thank
My son and Chris played from Little League Baseball all through junior college together. I helped coach Chris back when they were little boys. So we're always here to support Chris.
Well, awesome. Well, I support your mustache, and I give you this
thank
progressive
you.
fan of the game bag.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Go Rangers. By the way, we make the World Series, I will shave it off.
Whoa.
Well, yeah, because it's only going to take him 2 months to grow back. That's not that big of a deal. I mean, Jeff, I appreciate it, but come on.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Well, you two work through that.
I'm curious, did he have that when he was coaching the kids? And did that intimidate them a little bit?
Would that intimidate you?
I mean, I'd be when your coach is talking to you after the game. I mean, listen, as a kid, you're really not listening anyway, right? Your coach is going on about the game and yada yada yada, whatever. But if he had the mustache, forget it. I'm completely out because I'm only staring at the mustache and super curious as far as what's going on with that situation, as opposed to what we did wrong and why we lost the game.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm a little on the fence on whether that's really a mustache or an extension of the beard. Ground ball by Judge into left field. And he is on for a second time tonight.
So you're challenging the situation.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you saw where those ringlets began, they were a little lower.
Aaron Judge, such a difficult batter to deal with, does a nice job hitting that hard ground ball. And with Doug Fister, even the hits that he has allowed tonight outside of the home run, everything else has been on the ground, and ground balls are what he does best. Ground ball rate this year of 49%. Of course, all that two-seam fastball usage, 57% of the time. There's a good one right there. He probably almost wishes Didi swung at that pitch, because that's an ideal double play pitch to a left-handed hitter. Fister's got 6 of those this year.
Brutal slide coming into the game today with that home run. Got him back on the board, at least in the power game. In a hole here, 0-2. So it's, to me, it's where does the hair originate?
It was a little low.
It was a little low.
I
so
agree.
for me, I don't know if that originated on the lip or above, you know, at the corner of the mouth. Raleigh fingers, there's no debating it. That's a mustache. It's a handlebar mustache. That one, it's like a beard stash.
Yeah, I think you make a fair point, one worth contemplating and spending some time on. See if we
I mean,
get to the
I think
bottom
a lot of time.
Yeah.
Maybe at a different time. 0-2 on
Also,
Gregorius.
Thinking about that Little League situation too.
Yeah.
Really important. I'm a big fan for all youth coaches out there. Quick, keep those meetings short.
Ironic. There's a bouncer up the middle, and Odor can't get that first out of the double play. Well, Judge safe, and Roogie, you know, had to hustle it a little bit. Might have had more time than he thought, though.
Well, he did a good job of getting there. This ball was hit pretty hard and looked like it probably should have been an easy turn, but Roogie left that throw up, and Jurickson Profar didn't have much of a chance to get to it. Took a high bounce. You see the throw right there, just kind of taking off on Rougned Odor. Likely would have been an inning-ending double play. You know, Didi does get down the line pretty well coming out of that left-handed box.
It's a fielder's choice and an E4, and now Stanton bats with a couple of men on, and he takes strike one. Situations you're trying to avoid when you're playing this team is this guy at the plate with runners out there. Fister handled him well last time. Sounded like he broke the bat on a roller that went back up the middle, and Fister reacted quickly to it, maybe even, you know, a little too quickly, and missed it. And then Odor couldn't get it in time to make a play, so it was an infield hit for Stanton. This one hit in the air on the infield, an infield fly, and there are two gone.
It was amazing for how good Stanton is and how good he has been as of late. How much we have seen Ranger pitchers get in on him and jam him. They have done an excellent job. And when you look at that stance, it's almost like it's inviting. to get in there. Like he would have a hard time getting in. And, you know, it could be one of those deals where you almost give up that part of the plate. You know, some hitters have no problem giving up one side of the plate. And for Stanton, looking for anything middle away that we know he can crush, but he gets a little deeper in account. If you can get in on him, you can do exactly what Doug Fister did.
Another chance for Odor. He throws out Hicks, and the inning is done. So Yankees can't get anything out of it. The shadows continuing to stretch across the diamond on this Wednesday night. Top. We get going here in the bottom of the second inning. CC Sabathia pretty good in the first, and he misses with ball one to Jurickson Profar, who we talked at length about in our pregame show today. Starting his 31st consecutive game now. 1-1 the count. And the point you were making, CJ, in the pregame show was the improvement that he has made as a right-handed hitter. Well, tonight batting right-handed against the lefty CC Sabathia. In his last 31 at bats against lefties, he's 11 for 31 with 4 doubles, 2 triples, and a home run. This one though popped up and handled over there at third base by Torres, 1 away.
This weekend, join the Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation in remembering those who have lost their lives in service to our country. American flags will be displayed on the North Lawn over Memorial Day weekend to honor our heroes. Fans wishing to make a donation to honor loved ones with a commemorative flag should visit texasrangers.com/heroes, and all proceeds will benefit Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation's nonprofit military partners.
We get paid by the word.
Pretty long one. A little panic here in the booth when we started that. I wasn't sure if we were looking, and I saw it sitting there, and I didn't pre-read it, and I grabbed it, and then I realized how many words were there, and I got a little nervous.
It's gutsy play.
Yeah, especially an important read like that.
Yeah,
it's a pretty important one. You don't want to mess that one up, and I almost did.
Yeah, you handled it. Proud of you. Here's Odor. 0-2 on Rugi. Rugi had the home run on Monday. That put an end to a 29-game homerless drought for him. And another hit yesterday. Bounces this one down to first base. Easy play down there for Walker. 2 away. So Sabathia doing what he does, getting quick verdicts here. Veteran pitcher, left-hander. Mentioned the Cy Young earlier. 6-time All-Star. Was the MVP of the American League Championship Series in 2009. And I guess it's one of those things, you know, you start looking at guys' bios, as you get ready for the ball game. And certain things sneak up on you. And for the life of me, 10 years now as a Yankee.
Wow.
You know, it seems like just yesterday he was a sensation with the Brewers. As he goes 1-1 on Ryan Rua. You know, and eventually ended up with the Yankees. But you look at some of the ways that he is leading active pitchers, complete games, 38 of them. He's a strikeout leader as well, as this one is up and away, and it's 2-1.
It's been quite a career. I mean, this guy has been an absolute stud. At ace at times when we would see that mid to upper 90s fastball, he's adjusted well. I tell you what, maybe is as amazing as anything else in his career, that he put himself in a position where the Yankees would want him back after that big contract. How many big contracts do we see for pitchers that usually are not working out by the end of the deal? And a lot of times you see a team maybe moving on from that player, taking on some of the salary. Well, CC had a little bit of a rough stretch in there near the end of that contract, but really turned things around over the last couple of years, and so much so that the Yankees wanted him back this year.
Well, this one is screaming hopper to shortstop. Nice play down there by Gregorius, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for the big fella. Just 11 pitches needed for Sabathia. 3-0 Yankees through 2. In the seats. That's right. It's really fun for one, really exciting for the other. Well, let's save that one for later, pal. Well, underway here, and Doug Fister starts off with Neil Walker here. Neil Walker, Miguel Andujar, and then Austin Romine. Yankees leading 3-0. Fister, to his credit, well, he has had to work around some trouble here early. A couple of errors behind him, and some infield hits, just some tough luck. Fly ball, center field. The Shields goes back, and that one is gone. Not a cheapie either. Neil Walker blasted that one, just his second of the year. And it's 4-0 New York.
You're not kidding. That ball really got out of here, and off the bat, Delano DeShields knew it right away in center field. Take a look at the pitch. Two-seam fastball that split the middle of the plate, and in that count, Doug Fister trying to go right at. Nice play, young man. And Neil Walker, and he comes up with it. We're not thrilled, of course, because it was a Yankee home run and a Yankee fan that caught it, but you got to give credit where credit's due. It's a pretty good play.
1-0 pitch, and that one fouled off of Andujar's foot. 1-1 to count. 436 feet. That home run by Walker. Andujar reached on the infield hit in the first inning. That's now 6 hits for the Yankees. So Pfister's pitch count is up. That was his 60th of the evening already. Rangers bullpen may get a little bit of a test today.
Kind of surprising too. Lefties came in hitting just 205 against Doug Fister and only 2 home runs, but he's allowed 2 home runs tonight to left-handed hitters. Didi Gregorius in the first, and now Neil Walker, the switch hitter, batting left-handed here in the third.
One-two pitch and a swing and a miss. He gets Andujar way out in front, and there's one away. Time for a Chevy game break. Let's send it back to Dana Larson.
Seven straight and 13 of 14, and Paul Goldschmidt is hitting under 200 right now.
What happened?
Their offense is an absolute disaster, and they've lost a couple of pitchers to injury.
I mean, they could not lose at home there to start the year. They were just running off series win after series win at home. And it looked like they were just going to go ahead and run away with things. Boy, they've given it back. There's strike 3 called on Austin Romine, and so speaking of taking some of it back, Doug Fister back-to-back strikeouts.
Good job here by Doug Fister, working the edges in perfect location on that pitch and bringing it back door. Good look at the 2-seam fastball grip. That late movement just catches the down and away corner. And the Brewers, I think, are for real. A lot of times when the Brewers do well, it kind of seems like you're expecting them to fade at some point. They got the best bullpen ERA in the game right now. That bullpen is really, really good. And anytime you have a good bullpen, you're going to have a chance to win. And they will definitely have a chance this year. They did a really nice job this past offseason, bringing in Lorenzo Cain, Christian Yelich.
3-0 here on Gleyber Torres. You figured that division to be a real tough one. You figured the Cubs. You figured after the Cubs won that World Series a couple of years ago that they would just sort of, I don't want to say dominate, but they would be at the top of that division for a number of years to come. They're a young team. They have not really played, I guess, up to expectation the last couple of years. And once again this year, it's not that they're playing poorly per se, but maybe not as easy as some of us were thinking it may be. Cubs are 5 games over 500. They're 3 out in the division. As Torres bounces it to third base. Kiner Falefa throws him out easily. The inning is done. Another home run for the Yankees. They lead 4-0 as we take a peek. Texas Live going up quickly just across the street. We'll find out more about it when we come back. going up very quickly across the street. Now, all that dirt to the left there. Future ballpark site as well. Jim Watry, CEO of Texas Live, joining us here in the bottom of the third inning. Thank you for taking a little time with us. Obviously, you guys are very busy.
Yeah, my pleasure to be here. Thanks for the invite.
We're certainly excited about everything that's going on. Now, of course, the ballpark for Ranger fans is what is the most exciting part, but there is a lot of other things that are going to be up at Texas Live, and we kind of wanted to get into some of that with you and what fans could expect.
Roll out to first base. Guzman retired, one away.
So some of the biggest things there, the live arena, certainly going to be pretty cool. Tell us about capacity and kind of what we think that'll be all about.
Yeah, the building's 200 square feet of bars and restaurants and entertainment, and live arenas are the living room of Texas Live. Have a 90-foot LED screen, and we'll have great game day activation before the game. We'll replicate the stadium experience during the game and have a great late night entertainment after the game.
90-foot screen. So for fans that are maybe there watching the Ranger game, do you have, I don't know, like a medical staff there? So when they have to look at Dave Raymond's 90-foot head, that could be a little bit of an issue. Have you thought about that at all, and how you handle those situations?
Add that to the list.
Yeah,
Thank
some
you.
EMS that's right there, maybe some Dramamine, whatever's going to help some people, because that could be a little bit of a nightmare.
Pop up at first. 2 quick outs. All right, but in all seriousness, enough of the nonsense. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty here. A lot of vendors have already signed up, right? We've even interviewed a couple up here already. Tell us a little bit about who is already committed to be a part of this.
Well, we have Troy's, Troy Aikman's. Got a restaurant there with a great courtyard patio. We've got a PBR, Professional Bull Rider, Cowboy Bar. It's going to be a lot of fun. 2 mechanical bulls. In case you guys can vote.
Competition, it's on, buddy.
I love it.
Can we break can we be the first 2 to go? Is there any way we can
I'll
talk
arrange
to somebody?
that. I know a guy, yeah.
Oh, man.
That'd be fantastic. You said Troy, what was his name? Aikman? Who was that?
Yeah.
So tell us about his place a little
bit. He's big around here. So it's we've got some of his recipes in our test kitchen right now we're working on for the menu.
Oh.
So fresh fruit margaritas, good healthy dining. Real cool spot, live music every night.
So test dining means you need test tasters.
Yep.
Dave and I also available for that?
I'll mark you down. I have a list going here.
Yeah, please do. Yes.
And did I see that Aikman recently was on site?
Yeah, we had him on site. He took time out of a busy schedule for our announcement. We did a media tour, and he unveiled his place, and it was a really good day.
Okay, we've talked a lot about, because we had Lockhart's in here, we talked a lot about the food, but there's going to be a lot of live entertainment. Tell us about some of the venues that are anticipated to be open here in the not too distant future in that regard. Yeah,
so Arlington Backyard, 5,000 person capacity, 40 live national shows, all music genres. When we're not doing music out there, we'll do food festivals, private parties, all kinds of things.
And that'll be fantastic, because obviously when games are going on, whether it's a Cowboy game, Ranger game, obviously things are going to be busy, but you would like to be able to have Texas Live, a lot going on when there are no games. Yeah,
baseball is golden for us, but we have 200 events that aren't baseball related, whether it's a concert, a food festival, Oktoberfest. We do everything from yoga events to beer festivals.
Also something Dave Raymond needs, a little bit of yoga in his life.
Oh, I was getting ready for the beer fest thing. Nice play by Judge out at right field to complete the bottom of the third inning. We head to the fourth. Yankees leading it 4-0. Again, looking across the street, construction underway. Texas Live, it's exciting, man. So much fun to watch on a daily basis as we come to the ballpark. 4-0 Yankees leading here as we get going in the top of the 4th inning. Jim Watry, CEO of Texas Live, joining us here with the booth tonight. And we were talking, there's a well hit ball out to right field, and Chu will take it off the hop. Gardner heads to second and has a leadoff double. Anyway, we were talking last night, we were talking about the bull riding and, you know, the various different venues and whatnot. This is not your first rodeo. You've done this before. St. Louis is the great ballpark village around the Busch 3 now. It's hard to believe, but and you were a large part of that, right? Were you the CEO and you run that whole show as well?
Yeah, I opened that in 2014 and ran that for a while until I moved here.
You got bored and decided to go do it again.
This is a great opportunity, and the more time I spend in Texas, the better I like it. It's a great place to live.
Without a doubt. Now I'm curious about the comparisons. Maybe doing Ballpark Village. It's a great spot. I've been there. Fans love it. Downtown St. Louis. Everything that's happening around the ballpark. Anything you learned from that experience, or things that you wanted to maybe improve upon with Texas Live?
Sure. We're doing the Live by Lowe's Hotel that opens up in about a year after we open up. Our second one will be on St. Louis. But we've learned some operational things, and this is our first live music venue with the Arlington backyard. And there's great features. We have a whole window wall that opens of Arena Live that lets you look outside and underneath the hotel with the attaches with a beer garden.
Wow.
So there's some design features, some operational features, but it's great having the Rangers as a partner. They're very, very good, and they've been very helpful, and they've done a lot of hard work to get that off the ground.
Hard grounder, shortstop. Nice play by Profar. He's going to run Gardner to third. Kiner Falefa will put the tag on him. And the better part here is Judge couldn't get past first base. Really nicely done, a 6-5 put out.
Well, Jurickson Profar handled that perfectly. You get in that spot. Anytime there's a potential rundown, you have to sprint at the runner, make him make a commitment. Don't let him get into a rundown, dance around a little bit, try to buy some time for the runner. Look at him right here, go into that full sprint, force Brett Gardner to make a decision. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa does an excellent job of coming to get the ball as Jurickson Profar throws it, which does not give Gardner that opportunity to get into a rundown. Perfectly executed by the Rangers.
Yeah, just great awareness as Gregorius lofts one to short center. The Shields really having to take off to make the play. 2 gone. All right, Jim, last one. We're gonna let you go, but I don't want to put you on the spot to give me a specific date, but I'll put it to you this way. Can baseball fans, can Rangers fans expect at some point this season maybe to be able to stop in on a day of game?
Absolutely. We're right on schedule, and the Manhattan construction guys are doing a great job.
Okay. All right. You don't want to give us a date, do you?
We're announcing that very soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This is a really good opportunity. There's a lot of people watching the game. If you really want to get a big announcement, this is your spot. But Dave, live to you. Not the last question. I'm curious, actually, one last one for me as far as maybe feedback that you were getting from fans in St. Louis, because I would assume that obviously once you open up, you have your ideas, but then everyone has to go and experience it. Was there anything? Did you get feedback? How do you kind of keep track of how fans are enjoying what's happening?
Yeah, with the game day experience, you know, we always ramping that up with fan engagement and crowd interaction inside the Texas Live, and we've noticed that people want things. They love the baseball, but they want other festivals. They want stuff to do every day of the year, which we provide with our. We have a very healthy marketing calendar with many events and a lot of activities.
Well, you're a busy man. I appreciate it, Jim. It's awfully nice of you to spend a few minutes with us. I know there's a lot of work yet to be done. I don't want to tell you what to do with your time, but let's get that bad boy open so we can go have a beer.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
How about some sweat equity for Dave Raymond? If he's a good painter, he's also good at cleaning up if he needs some help over there.
Absolutely.
All right.
Handy Manny, I think was the name of the cartoon. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's good stuff, man. I am really looking forward to that, because after the game, you know, it'd be nice just to have a place to roll over and maybe talk about things for a few minutes. Fly ball out to left field. Rua, the shades on, in the shadows, and he makes the play, and it's a scoreless 4th inning. There it is again, and it's on the way soon, and we're going to have a date to give you here in the not too distant future as well. Off we go to the bottom of the 4th.
for heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
All right, Yankees lead 4-0. You're the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Rangers in this 4th inning. Chu, Kiner, Falefa, and Mazzara. Let's see if they can get a little something going. Chu's been the only Ranger to reach base so far tonight against CC Sabathia. He walked and stole second back in the 1st inning. That's it. Otherwise, CC Sabathia absolutely in control tonight. Just the 1 strikeout. And he gets quick out, but this one rolled up the middle. That's a base hit for Chu. So the Rangers have their 1st hit, their 2nd base runner of the night. Let's see if they can get something going here in the 4th.
Well, you mentioned it. Chu had a really good at-bat first time around against CC. Get a good look here at that slider, and remember the one that was called on the corner. That one very similar on the edge or just off, but Chu ready for it, lines right back up the middle. So good with the approach against left-handers. Staying in the middle of the field. Chu continues to get it done. Now, he struggled against left-handers this year, but just a 189 batting average coming in on this one. But that's the approach, trusting that process that he has done over the length of his career. Chu.
He stole a base last time he was on. We'll see how aggressive he wants to be this time around. Kiner Falefa takes a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, I bet you we don't see him go here. I mean, depending on what happens with the count, just based on the fact that the Rangers are down by 4 right now. It was an 0-2 count, which he tried to steal and did steal successfully. And Nomar Mazzara was batting. I think in this situation we'll probably see him stay put. And a guy like Austin Romine has done a pretty good job throwing out a couple of runners. Base stealers now after that one, 5 for 7 against Romine this year.
1-2, and it's low. Well, Kiner Falefa lined out in the 1st inning. A well-struck ball right to Gregorius. Similar type swing might result in a ball out of the alley in left center. And this one hit well to left field. Gardner going back, reaches up, and he'll make the catch. And he did poke it a little harder this time. But Gardner, good step back, able to get there.
His ball was well struck, and it looked like it might have had a chance to carry. Another look, and slider down over the plate from CC Sabathia. See, Brett Gardner got a good read, still has really good speed. At 34 years old, plays a very good left field, and the battle of sun there a little bit in and out from the shadows to the sun. You see him there, no sun in his face, but has the sunglasses on, just in case he has to go back to the track the way that he just did.
Now Mazzara, and he'll take strike 1. Nomar 0 for 1, flied out in the 1st inning. Big Chill has cooled off a little bit lately. Shoots it foul, 0-2. Now, with that said, when he has made contact, has had base hits, they've been for extra bases by and large. 18 of his last 32 hits have been for extra bases. 14 of his last 20. Hasn't been much of a singles hitter lately. Putting him much more in the mold the last month or so of Joey Gallo, except that he's still, even in this cold stretch, his average is at 270 for the year. Hits this ball well out to right field, looking up at that one, and it is goodbye. Wow. Mazzara like a bolt of lightning out there to right field on that 2-strike pitch. His 11th home run of the year.
Nomar actually had a pretty good hack at a pitch that he fouled off earlier and looked really comfortable against CC Sabathia. And we talk a lot about Nomar and how good he has gotten against left-handed pitching, and you see it right there. A breaking ball outside, a little bit over point. It was down, but a really comfortable swing. Look at Nomar getting the foot down in time and being all over. Good balance in his swing. We talk about it all the time. And a line drive shot. That's the other thing we brought up the other night, last night, talking about Nomar. Not a lot of high launch angle to his game. That's okay, it works. He's got the kind of power. 11 of them on the year now. How about this? 16 in this series. That is the most in a 3-game series in the big leagues this year.
And counting. Profar turns one foul, 1-1. A 4-2 ball game. And that's off the plate, 2-1. So Sabathia, even though he is up until this inning worked pretty efficiently, at least in terms of base runners, pitch count edging closer and closer to 60. And the Rangers have done a really good job in all 3 games of this series, I think, in waiting these starting pitchers out. In particular, I go back to Monday night, and they really made Tanaka work hard. Tanaka ended up walking 4 in 5 innings. This ball hit well, but foul.
Take another look at this home run by Nomar Mazara, and you see that pitch actually finished a little bit middle in. The CC was trying to sweep that away from Nomar Mazara.
Payoff pitch, that one down low. That's ball 4. So Profar walks. Again, excellent at bat. And it brings a potential tying run to the plate. You want to guess at the launch angle?
It's pretty low. I will tell you 18.5 degrees.
Oh, do they do that? Do they give it the point whatevers?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ever watch a Rangers broadcast? We show it pretty often.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
The launch angle?
Yes.
In decimals?
That's correct.
I guess I'm not paying attention. That's nothing new. So Dory takes high, ball 1. Well, I'm not going to tell you.
Wax, I nailed it.
No. I don't like your attitude.
No.
Also, I can't find it. So there is that. Here's a swing and a miss. 1-1 on Odor. Would you say 18.5?
That's correct.
I think it's lower than that.
Yeah, you might be right.
I mean,
that one Jerkson
exactly
hit the other night was pretty low. That line drive to center field. I don't remember what the number was.
Well, 17.7.
Oh, well within the margin of error for me.
And yet I nailed it. Sort of.
It's been a lot of fun to watch, and seeing what this season has become so far for the 23-year-old Nomar Mazara. That home run pace is up. I think, listen, you can't always go by pace, right? We're sitting here, 51st game of the season. So we'd like to say, okay, well, can we times it by 3? Is he going to play in 150 or so games? Will he hit 30 to 35 home runs? He absolutely has it in him. And very well could see that this year. But what you don't want to see Nomar Mazara do, I think, is because he's such a good all-field hitter, such a good line drive hitter, is that he starts to get kind of some of that, home run swing, starts to get big and trying to hit the long ball.
Profar running. And he'll have to head back on the foul tip. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just don't see that happening with Nomar. It's because in the first 2 years, he came up, was a sensation as a rookie, hit the 20 home runs, stayed, pretty true to his game. Last year, another really good all-round year. Didn't seem to fall prey to that. It's just such a disciplined guy. 2-2 on Odor.
Looking at those 3 guys right there, Delano DeShields, Nomar Mazara, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, all of them 25 years and younger. Getting it done at the big league level, each of them doing some pretty good things so far this season. For Isaiah, an opportunity that I think many of us really weren't anticipating for him.
I think that's fair to say.
He's fit in nicely with this young group.
Sometimes you just don't know until you put a guy in a situation.
Probably writing me a thank you letter right now for that nice compliment, dear CJ.
In Delano's book, there's a swing and a little pop up out into center field. Hicks is there, 2 away. Well, the Rangers and Dr. Pepper are teaming up to bring you savings at the ballpark this season. Bring a Dr. Pepper can to the box office or use the online coupon code Dr. Pepper to get tickets starting at just $11. Check it out, TexasRangers.com/specials, and get your tickets there for tomorrow when the Rangers open a 4-game series with the Kansas City Royals. Well, here's Ryan Rua, a man on, 2 out here in the 4th. 2 runs already across on the Mazzaro home run. And Sabathia, this will be his 65th pitch of the night. So the Rangers have stretched some of these innings out on him, even though they haven't sent a ton of guys to the plate. Two and 0. 6'6". They list him at 300 pounds. Of course, Doug Fister 6'8", 210. A couple of big hurlers out there today. 2-0. And Rua swings right through it.
But a 2-0 changeup from CC Sabathia, probably not all that surprising even to Ryan Rua. 84% of the pitches that CC Sabathia throws to right-handed hitters are off-speed pitches. That means he's only throwing his fastball 16% of the time. That is the highest in all of Major League Baseball. There's another off-speed pitch to the right-handed hitting Ryan Rua. We talked about fastball usage with the Yankees and really the trend in baseball being down, less fastballs, but that is extreme against right-handed hitters. 84% off-speed pitches.
It's an interesting trend because you see it, time and again, team by team.
And it's not just the older guys that are throwing slower, right? I mean, we saw it yesterday with Herman. Dude's throwing what, 97 at times.
Yeah. Off the plate, and it's a full count on Rua. Watched a close one there. Ryan 0 for his last 15 since he homered against the Red Sox. He could use a base hit in a big way. Payoff pitch. This one fouled back our direction. Below us, had a clean play, couldn't get it, bounced down to a father with a little baby on his lap. Made the one-hand grab. Okay, 70th pitch of the night now for Sabathia. And it's inside, ball 4, so Rua is on. Profar goes to second. The inning will continue.
Now batting the first baseman,
well, he has done an inordinate amount of his work tonight in this one inning. Sabathia. His next pitch will be the 30th of the inning. And it'll also be his first to Guzman, who grounded out in the 3rd inning.
It's good to see the Rangers working counts, drawing walks. Yesterday, 8 walks. That tied a season high. 3 of them so far this evening against CC Sabathia, who has only walked 2 batters per 9 coming into this one. And you think we talk about the Rangers sometimes being a little bit undisciplined at the plate. You wouldn't expect them necessarily to draw walks against guys that are big-time strike throwers the way CC is, but I think it just gives you an idea of how well they've been swinging the bats lately and just really the quality of those at-bats.
Rangers 0 for 1 tonight with runners in scoring position. You see hitting coach Anthony Iapoce. 2 for 18 with runners in scoring position. Guzman deliver a big one. Let's see. He watches low. 1 and 2. Well, I think all the young guys that the Rangers have in the American League among rookies. Guzman 5th with 14 RBIs. Tyler Austin, Gleyber Torres, both there at the top of the American League charts, but 3 of the top 5 in the league in this game today. This one fouled away, or at least potentially in the game today. 1-2. Austin out on the lineup. A 2-run homer this inning by Mazzara. It all started with a Chu base hit. Since the home run, a couple of walks. Profar out in the distance. Rua. 1-2. And this ball hit well down the right field line, headed toward the corner. Gone! Just snuck out. And Ronald Guzman's home run streak continues. He's homered in 3 in a row. And the Rangers in front 5-4.
What a great at-bat by Ronald Guzman. He had looked at a 92-mile-an-hour fastball in the previous pitch, and you knew CC Sabathia was going to come back with something soft, and he left it over the plate enough, and it's a short stroke for the big man as he hits that line drive. 2 of the 3 that we've seen from him have not gotten very high in the air, but he has drilled into right field, and what a big moment for Ronald Guzman to be able to take CC Sabathia deep, the left-hander who had allowed just 1 home run to a left-handed hitter coming into this one. Well, Nomar Mazara has gotten him, and now Ronald Guzman has gotten him. It's a really nice job here by the Rangers' young left-handed hitters in this 4th inning.
360 feet. Rangers on top 5-4. Larry Rothschild out there momentarily to talk to Sabathia, and the lefty goes back to work now to Carlos Perez. 0 for 1, popped up in the 3rd. 5-4 Rangers lead. And a bouncing ball shortstop. Gregorius sets up and throws out Perez. The inning is done, but the Rangers with 2 huge home runs have taken the lead.
Now 2 young lefties. First, it's Nomar Mazara on a breaking ball that stayed over the middle of plate, drilled it into the right field gap, and then Ronald Guzman gets an opportunity on a breaking ball that he hits down the right field line. 5 runs for the Rangers here in the 4th.
As we get ready here in the 5th inning. Download the app, play for free, and start your streak for a chance at $5.6 million. Download Beat the Streak today. All right, Aaron Hicks will start the 5th inning for the Yankees, and obviously thinking bunt. Took a couple of hops toward Pfister. Hicks today 1 for 2. And he swings at this one and lifts it high in the air out to right field. Chu may have room right in front of the warning track, and he does. 1 gone. Which gives us a moment now for a word from our friends at Southwest Kia.
$250 down, $250 a month or less on select new Kias in stock only at southwestkia.com.
All right, so 1 away. Neil Walker homered in the 3rd inning. Just his 2nd home run of the year.
And kind of surprising too, quite honestly, against Doug Fister. This is a good matchup when you look at Doug Fister's stuff. We mentioned the repertoire, the pitch usage for him, 57% two-seam fastballs. Go back to the beginning of last year against right-handed sinkers. Neil Walker's only hitting 125. Got one that he can handle. He drilled that ball. That ball went a long way in left center field. Had some carry on it.
Well, at the time, that made it a 4-0 Yankees lead. Rangers have come storming back as Walker rolls that one through into center. His 2nd hit of the night.
It's another one of those frustrating hits for Doug Fister. He did a really nice job locating that changeup down and away. Check this out right here. Pretty much right where you want it. Gets Neil Walker out front a little bit. Not a very hard hit ground ball, but nobody home because of the shift. Instead, it turns into a base hit. And we've seen the 4 outfielders. I just wonder if there would be a team. And you think the Astros would be one, say when Dallas Keuchel is pitching. Heavy ground ball rate. You got a hitter who never hits fly balls, say to left field. Everything is center to right. Would you go 5 infielders? And we see it in those bases loaded situations. And if you have, say, George Springer and Jake Marisnik, 2 guys that have a ton of range, would you go to it? Would you feel comfortable going to a 5th infielder, say in the 4th inning, with a Dallas Keuchel type of guy out there, ton of ground balls?
So I don't mind it, but you better be practicing it a lot. You better get comfortable with where everybody needs to be in certain situations, because the one thing in general I do not like bringing an extra infielder in. I feel like I've just seen it too many times. Bring an extra guy in, let's say on the left side of the infield with a tying run or whatever, 3rd base. And the ball's hit over there, and everybody looks at each other like, well, I don't know, am I supposed to get it or you?
Yep.
Because you're just not calibrated to have somebody that close to you on that side of the infield. And so generally speaking, I don't love it.
I'm with you, and that would be certainly a big hurdle. But just kind of looking at that ground ball right there as an example is a good one, where you're sitting there saying, man, to have, say 4 outfielders starting from where Jurickson Profar was playing, just off the bag a little bit or just to the left of the bag at 2nd, and then the other 3 on the other side. Yeah, there's a few guys that it would work with, right? You have to go hitter and pitcher matchup, and we've certainly seen it enough where we've seen some extreme situations defensively. I don't know. I think we may start seeing that a little bit with some of the ground ball pitchers. Doug Fister is one of them. Dallas Keuchel, Marcus Stroman when he is on. Could happen.
Yeah, I think so.
We've seen it before. The Cubs, they put 4 infielders on the right side, and they're not a big shift team, which was interesting, but they're an innovative team. They don't mind taking some chances.
So, and I think when I talk about disliking it, when you're trying to cut down a run at the plate, usually we're talking about guys on the dirt, maybe on the edge of the grass.
Sure.
It's not I don't like, but in all of the shifts that we see, more times than not, it's an infielder playing a short outfield rover type position. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it has merit. I think it works. This one hits sharply past 3rd, and Duhar will have extra bases. Walker around 2nd into 3rd, and they will stop him there on the double by Miguel Andujar. It's 2nd and 3rd, 1 out.
The ball was hit pretty hard by Miguel Andujar. You'll see it there. Ball came in a little bit. He's quick, and we've seen this from him this series on balls in. Does a nice job of getting the hands in. Him and Gleyber Torres both squared that ball up pretty well.
It's the 17th extra base hit of the series for the Yankees. 5th inning here in game 3. They have 2 home runs. Rangers have 2 home runs tonight. Now Austin Romine, who walked with the bases loaded in the 1st, struck out looking in the 3rd, and he bounces this one foul for a strike.
So the Yankees have been, and Aaron Boone, pretty steadfast on leaving Gleyber Torres in the 9th spot. I mean, you're getting unbelievable production right from a 9-hole hitter. And Austin Romine, you mentioned, having a much better offensive year than he has had over the course of his career. But here's a situation, a good example of one where I wonder if you'd have been better off having Gleyber Torres bat 8th instead of 9th. I get the idea of leaving him there, and then you combine him with your leadoff hitter, Brett Gardner, how well that works. But I just wonder at some point, there's not a lot of room to go up in this order because it's so good. But I wonder if they're going to stick to that all year, or whether or not they're going to start to move him up in the order, especially in days when Romine's starting.
2-1 the count. For now, certainly you can get away with it because Romine's hitting about 340.
Yeah.
Pitch count starting to climb a little bit on Pfister. This will be his 97th pitch of the night. But some high stress pitches in there too. A swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Our Southwest Airlines bullpen libelo, Tony Barnett, loosened it up, so he may be clearly right now he'd be first man up, and may not be too long before he finds his way in this game.
97 pitches right now for Doug Pfister, battling a little bit. He's had some bad luck today, missed a couple of spots that cost him. Pitch count tells you that he's probably getting near the end here.
He's given up a season high 9 hits, although again a handful of those have been kind of cheapies. But he's in a spot here because the tying run is at third, the go-ahead run is at second. Pitch to Romine in the dirt. Good block back there by Perez, and it's a full count.
He's gone over 100 3 times this year. 105 twice, 103 another time. One of those was somewhat similar to this outing where he'd only gone 4 2/3 and threw 105 pitches, but only let up 2 runs in that game.
Payoff, and that one is rolled through the right side, base hit. Walker's in, and Duhar stopped at third, so we're tied up. Yankees have him on the corners on the RBI single by Austin Romine. It was interesting because Guzman was so far off the line. He was the closest to it, and for a moment I guess he was thinking maybe he would cover.
It looked like there was a little bit of confusion on what pitch was supposed to be thrown there as well. As you see Perez, he looked like he started going down in the dirt as if he was expecting a breaking ball. That was not a breaking ball. That was a 2-seam fastball, so it does appear that there was some confusion on what pitch was supposed to be thrown in that spot.
Kale out there to have a word. Doug has said his piece, heads back in. Well, he's gotten a lot of ground balls today. They haven't all worked out for him. Some of them have turned into errors. Some of them have found a hole, but he has gotten this guy, Gleyber Torres, twice to roll out to infielders. Once to Odor, once to Kiner Falefa. His 100th pitch of the night. And he pumps it in there for a strike to Torres.
For this guy who has done a really nice job, hasn't had too many opportunities, but facing a pitcher 3rd time through this year, he is 4 for 8. 500 batting average with a home run.
He's in a hole here, 0-2. A lot of fantastic superlatives for this guy.
That home run was against Bartolo Colon. Right? Didn't he hit 2 off of Bartolo in that game?
Yes, he did. Runners off the corners, the 0-2. And this one lifted in the air. Deep to left field. Gone. Torres with his 4th home run in this series. A 3-run shot. And the Yankees lead it 8-5. He has half his home runs this year in this series. And that'll do it. Jeff Bannister out. He has signaled to the bullpen. Doug Pfister's night is done. A 3-run homer, 3rd home run of the night for the Yankees, and has put them back in front by 3.
fifth inning with 1 out, with the Yankees now back on top here against the Texas Rangers. And we want to get you to our Kubota power stats. And with Tony Barnett coming in this game, Kubota is going to be about Tony Barnett this evening and what he has done over his last 3 games. He has thrown the ball extremely well. 4 innings pitched for him, 0 hits, just a 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts for the Rangers right-hander.
Well, he gets the top of the order here. 1 out, nobody on base. Brett Gardner, the leadoff man. 1 for 3 with a double. Barnett hangs that leg up there and delivers a strike. So Gardner, the veteran leader, if you will, of this team. Takes low, 1-1. Talking earlier about the slow start for Gardner. He rolls that one up the middle. That's his 2nd hit of the night. 12th hit of the evening for the Yankees. He's going to go for 2 and he'll have it easily. Wow. That's just good aggressive base running there by Gardner. He was getting ahead of steam going into first. He said, what the heck, I'll go for it.
A little bit of a surprise that this turned into a double as a ground ball. And we've seen a lot of ground ball hits tonight for the New York Yankees. Let's take a look at this one here. Tony Barnett, like the cutter, you see a little spin there trying to throw it backdoor. Brett Gardner still got the really good speed. I mentioned it earlier. The ball caught the back half of the mound. He knew there was going to be some room with Delino to Shields shaded to left center, and there was 0 hesitation on the part of the 34-year-old Brett Gardner.
Yeah, it's not like he was looking out there to see how Delino was going to handle it. He saw where it was headed, how much green space was out there, and just felt like if I hustle, I think I can beat him. He knows that Delino doesn't have a Leonys Martin type arm. This ball swung out and blasted. Oh boy. Deep out there to left center. It finally comes down. 2-run homer for Aaron Judge on the first pitch he saw. His 13th home run of the year, and it adds to the Yankees lead, now 10-5.
We know how strong Aaron Judge is, and when he can get those arms extended like he does right there, he can hit it a long way. Good look at the grip from Tony Barnett. Looked like a four-seam fastball.
Didi Gregorius takes a big cut at the first pitch he sees. Chu coming in will make the play in right field, 2 away.
Take a look at some StatCast on this home run from Aaron Judge. 112 miles an hour off the bat, but a projected distance 471 feet. Do you remember what was the distance on the ball that Joey hit last year on the roof of the Hyundai Club? Remember that one?
Yeah, I do remember that one because it ended up going over ultimately, right? It rolled over to the backside.
One bouncing over. But I thought it was it 496? No, I don't think it was.
I don't think it was.
I think it was
either.
less than that one.
That's what's so weird about these measurements.
Yeah, because remember we went through all the home runs, the long home runs that these guys had hit, and that wasn't the one. The one he hit in Anaheim, 490 feet, right? He hit onto the turf hill out there in right center.
So sometimes those things just don't make a lot of sense to me.
Like if you were to basically have that on a rope, string or whatever, from home plate to where Aaron Judge's ball landed, and you moved your way over to where Joey's landed, you're standing in front of Joey's ball for sure. Would you agree?
I mean, you could take a 3rd grade class and set them here and watch the 2 home runs and ask them which one went further, and they would be able to tell you. There's a strikeout of Stanton, and the inning is done. But a big inning it was for the Yankees as they add 6 runs and retake the lead. It's 10-5.
Bottom five, 10-5, Yankees leading the Rangers as Delino DeShields steps into the box. And Delino coming off of an off day yesterday, a chance to reset, kind of recharge and reestablish things. Delino considers himself obviously a student of the game, but he feels like coming back from that injury, maybe he got a little too comfortable too quick and got outside of himself. He says it's all about simplifying things, and maybe he felt too good, so he tried to get a little cute, and he wanted a chance to kind of go through some mechanics, figure out what exactly he was doing to try to get back on track. He feels like his head's right and his mechanics are where they should be after the off day yesterday, guys.
Yeah, those off days can help if you take advantage of them. A lot of guys, take that rest, take it for what it's worth. Everybody wants to play every day, and you certainly can appreciate that. But also knowing how to handle an off day is equally as important.
Flies out to left field to start the 5th inning, 1 away. Time for Chevy game break. Let's check in with Dana Larson. All right, thanks, Dana. And Verlander cruising right now. And Chu takes strike 1. Chu has had the good night at the plate. A walk earlier, a base hit in the 4th inning. Got that big 5-run 4th inning going with his single against Sabathia. He hits this one out to center field. That one will drop in for a base hit. So Chu with his 2nd hit of the night, and he's on for the 3rd time.
Third baseman,
The good at-bats all night for Chu against the lefty CC Sabathia, and there is a slider up a little bit more than he wanted it, trying to get it down on the corner. That's the 2nd slider in which Chu has gotten a base hit on off of CC Sabathia.
So here is Kiner Falefa 0 for 2. He's lined out to short. Then he hit it a little harder last inning, only to watch Gardner track it down out there in left field. And he takes a strike from Sabathia. But Gardner showing us he can still hustle, still move out there, and on the bases.
And I think it's interesting to see him at age 34 still run really well, because we talk about guys that rely on speed as part of their game, and it's always a concern as they get older. And there's that conversation when guys are up for free agency. Do you want to invest in a speed guy as he gets into his upper 20s, starts to hit 30? What's going to happen into his early 30s? Well, Brett Gardner is showing you that if you take care of yourself and do your work and avoid injury as much as possible, you'll have a chance to continue to make speed part of your game into your 30s.
He's been impressive. Maybe, maybe the youngsters keep him young too, right?
Sure, that helps.
A lot of kids on this team just trying to keep up. That one high, 1 and 2 to Kiner Falefa.
He's one of the potential free agents on this Yankee club. He's got a team option for 2019. CC Sabathia is a free agent. Adam Warren, David Robertson, Neil Walker, all free agents at the end of the year.
Well, pop up first base side, heading into foul ground, and whoa. Well, that's a dangerous little play right there, right off the front of the dugout. Missed Walker.
Certainly not something you're expecting. At this point, when you realize you can't get it, you assume the ball will just kind of hit the roof of the dugout or go in the dugout. You're not expecting that. A little bit lower. Walker might have ate that baseball.
Yeah. Saw Banny helping him out just a little bit there. Of course, the two of them spent some time together with the Pirates. 1-2 pitch. That one lined out into right field. Judge can't get to it. It spins away from him, and then he bangs into that wall. We could be running for a while. Chu into third. Beasley's going to send him. He comes to the plate. Kiner Falefa to third. It's a triple for the rookie. It brings in a run, and it's 10-6.
Isaiah Kiner Falefa has had a couple of good at-bats. He's lined out in both of those, hit the ball hard. You were mentioning that, and then gets a little bit of a break here, a ball that he doesn't hit as hard as the other two. You see him just kind of get the bottom half of this baseball, but it had some funky spin on it. Look at that thing kick right. Aaron Judge, really not much he could do in that spot. That is not an easy play. It certainly is not something that you practice, and good heads-up base running by Isaiah as he picks up Chu. Once he realizes that he is going to score, he can go on to third. A strange triple. You think about all the things you practice in this game, you don't practice that. You don't have a guy with a fungo trying to hit spinning balls down the line and dealing with the different walls that you have to deal with at each ballpark. You just never know what you're going to see in a game.
So the Rangers answering right back after that 6-run explosion in the top of this inning. They get one back. They've got Kiner Falefa 90 feet away, and Mazzara takes the ball. It's 1-1. Omar had the home run in the 4th inning. Well struck low liner. And he bounces this one back to the mound off of Sabathia. No play to be had. Kiner Falefa scores. Mazzara is on via the base hit. It's 10-7. Won't go anywhere, folks.
Good to see the Rangers get a couple of breaks after we had seen the Yankees get a bunch of breaks, and Omar chopped this ball right into the ground and nicked the glove of CC Sabathia. It was going to take a great play by Didi Gregorius to even have a shot at getting Nomar Mazzara, and I'm not even sure he could have. And instead it turns into an infield base hit, and that is going to knock CC Sabathia out of this game.
He's done. Jonathan Holder coming on for the Yankees. It's a 3-run game.
Southwest player breakdown, and it's Nomar Mazzara for this evening. We had talked about the great job that he has done against good pitching against lefties this year. He has had a nice evening so far against CC Sabathia, who is now out of this game. The home run, the base hit, 3 RBIs already for Nomar Mazzara, and there are the numbers against Cy Young Award winners this season. 400 batting average, 4 bombs, 9 RBIs. Nomar Mazzara in the DH spot tonight continues to get it done.
You can take your accolades and here's what I think of him. Profar. And he takes outside. Jurickson walked in the 4th inning. Jonathan Holder, his 14th appearance of the year.
And the guy obviously very stingy with the walks, just 2 of them so far this year. He's done an excellent job against lefties. 105 batting average this season. Righties hitting 250.
This ball hit sharply and into right field. Base hit for Profar. Mazzara heads to third, and the Rangers have him on the corners. Here in the 5th inning. He gets a potential tying run to the plate.
Good job by Jurickson Profar as he gets a fastball to handle. And in ended up going right down the middle. They're trying to go away on Jurickson. Hits that ball on the right side. Amazing what's going on in this game. 17 runs. We're not through the 5th inning yet.
Here's Odor. Ground out and a fly out today, 0 for 2. Rugi hit his first home run of the year on Monday night. 3-run shot in the 4th inning. Came at the expense of Masahiro Tanaka. Continues to assure us that he feels good. And he thinks the results are going to come. And fouled away, 1-1.
And I would agree with that. We have seen some good at-bats from Rougned Odor over this series. Patience has been pretty good. There's been a couple of pitches that he has let go by out of the strike zone that we have seen him swing at these past couple of years, and he very well could be headed toward a hot streak.
One big swing here. Look at this place rocking. The 1-1. Fly ball down the left field line. That one heading foul. And just out of the reach of Gardner. Just one out here. Shields with a fly ball out to start the inning, but Chu followed with a single. Kiner Falefa with the triple. Mazzaro reached on an infield hit, bringing in another run. And Profar shot one into right. Rangers with 7 hits. Yankees with 13 hits. Apparently not the day to be a pitcher.
These are those kind of games too. I will tell you that you're sitting down in the bullpen. You see what's going on. Some power, right? But then also some bad luck. Not that you believe in these kinds of things, but you have these kind of days. You're like, oh, that one off the end of the bat, that ground ball got through. That what we just saw with the Isaiah Kiner Falefa triple looked like a base hit, took some funky spin. You know the phone's going to be ringing. There's that little small part of you that's saying, yeah, if it's not me, I'll be okay with that tonight.
Odor strikes out swinging. 2 away here in the 5th inning. I always kind of wondered that.
You can't say it. Can't say it out loud. You're allowed to think it, and it's a small part. It's not all of you. There's just that small part of you going, off day wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
I think it saved me for tomorrow. Maybe be a better situation. Well, Ryan Rua 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored.
Only the 2nd strikeout for the Rangers tonight. That is certainly encouraging.
Shields struck out to start the game. Odor, the 2nd strikeout right there. Rua comes up empty. So Holder, we saw Holder Monday night throw a scoreless inning. Scoreless 9th inning in that 10-5 Yankees win in the opener. Rangers came back to win game 2 yesterday. 6-4 the final score, and we've got a wild one here. Long way from being done. Profar bluffs. Rua fouls it off, and the count 0-2. Ryan's in need of something to fall his way. Playing time has dwindled after starting the year as the opening day left fielder. And lately the hits have been very hard to come by. Homered against Boston on that last homestand, but hitless on the roadie. 0 for his last 15. Bounces this one toward 3rd, but it is a foul ball. So we'll get another shot. Today getting a start at left field. He has started a handful of games at first base lately. Joey Gallo got the day off today. So all the slugging and power and everything that we're seeing here today, and Gallo not even in the lineup.
could be a pinch hit opportunity for him later in this game with all those righties obviously already coming out of the bullpen here for the Yankees. They got some lefties, 3 down there this evening after call up. Bollinger now with the club to go with Chapman and Shreve, but some righties down there too. I'd be surprised if you see Joey Gallo could be in this spot, in Ryan Rua's spot next time through the order, potentially, depending on what's going on with the game.
2 runs in here in the 5th after a 5-run 4th inning, and it's like Romine out there to signal to his infield what to do. Holder on in relief of CC Sabathia.
That would be on a potential steal as far as where they would be throwing if Profar were to steal here.
Not going. The pitch is outside. It's 2-2.
It's not like Little League where you just let that guy take second base. Don't do it. Don't throw it.
Yeah, it's not even so much letting him. You discourage that throw in Little League.
Don't
throw it away.
At least 1 run, maybe 2, maybe 2. When they're real little.
And Maz is over there at third base. Here's 2-2. And Rua fights off another. Final game in this series against the Yankees. Kansas City comes in tomorrow to begin a 4-game series. Holder, which is admittedly, it's a good pitcher's name.
Yeah, not a closer though. Good middle reliever.
Definitely not a closer. Ready again at 2-2. This will be the 7th pitch of the at bat. And Rua turns it down the third base side, foul again.
Ryan Rua putting a really tough at bat here against Jonathan Holder. Love to see him get rewarded. I mentioned some struggles here as of late. At the same time, if he gets a pitch he can handle, Ryan Rua's got some power. He's strong. So far, Holder's done a good job of pitching it tough.
Another check in of Profar. It started an hour earlier today. 6:05 first pitch. And at game time it was 91 degrees. It's cooled down a little now. Shadows everywhere on the field. The 2-2 and a chopper at third base. Gleyber Torres though right there. And he'll throw out Rua to end the inning. Rangers though get 2 back. We've played 5 complete. It's a 10-7 ball game. West Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By GMC. Visit your local GMC dealer today. And by LG OLED TV with AI ThinQ. Well, a 10-7 ball game tonight as we head to the 6th inning. By the way, Friday, another T-Mobile Friday fireworks on Star Wars weekend. Rangers and Royals, a 7 o'clock game, and then after the game, got a great fireworks show set to Star Wars music. $16 upper reserve seats available thanks to Fox Sports Southwest and T-Mobile. Just go to TexasRangers.com for tickets. Well, it's been fun this week. Good crowds, right around 30,000 each night. Today, the largest crowd of the three is the first pitch to Aaron Hicks, fouled away. 31,304 paid attendance. And Alex Claudio has come on.
There's that pitch arsenal for Alex. 54% of the time that fastball, but the changeup has been the pitch for him that has been so effective. 219 against lefties this year. The right-handed batting average has been up 462 on the season. We've seen a lot of righties take him the other way, and when he can get him into pull mode like that with the off-speed stuff, Alex does a very nice job against those righties. It's the ones that get short, kind of look to right field a little bit, where he starts to run into a little bit of trouble.
They had a Hicks here, 0-2. Hicks had a base hit in the first inning. Since grounded out and flied out, and holds off. Ball and 2 strikes. Both bullpens going to be taxed tonight. Doug Fister went 4 1/3 for Texas tonight. 8 runs on 11 hits. 6 of the runs earned. Walked 1, struck out 2. And this one is poked over third base. So base hit by Hicks to begin the 6th inning.
First baseman Neil Walker.
Take a look at this pitch from Alex Claudio. That's a pretty good changeup. That's a nice job by Aaron Hicks. So it's interesting. We've seen him do this now from the left side and the right side. Get an off-speed pitch that is away, pretty well located, and go out and hook it a little bit. So certainly a guy that, when you do that, you got to be able to stay back, got to have good balance. But to get out there and not roll over that pitch is not that easy to do, but he's done it twice tonight.
Walker's swinging a hot bat right now for New York. And you look at this note right here. 3 or more home runs in each of the last 5 games. That's the longest such streak in their franchise's history. Can't recall if they've ever had any good offensive teams.
I don't think so. That's what I was trying to think. Like, it's one thing when you have an organization that may have had the greatest player to ever play the game, or even the 2nd and 3rd, 4th greatest players to ever play the game. And if your organization goes back to the turn of the last century, then maybe, but not nearly as impressive when you're talking about the Yankees.
Strike in there to Walker, 1-1. Walker started the year with a little bit of a struggle. His first 21 games was hitting just 163 and had only 5 walks. But lately has turned it around, including tonight. You're talking about a 13-game stretch in which he has 14 hits, hitting right in the neighborhood of 325, and a lot of walks, 8 walks in those 13 games. Today, a home run, a single. He's scored twice, driven in a run. Claudio would love to get him to bang one into the dirt here and maybe get a chance at 2. 2-2 the count.
That certainly would be ideal. That has been a strength for Alex Claudio as we have watched him now these last couple of years. 63% ground ball rate for him. He's gotten 3 double plays coming out of the bullpen this season for Jeff Bannister and the Rangers. And you're right. You can do it with the 2-seam fastball. You can do it with the changeup, especially to right-handed hitters when he's locating that thing down and away. A lot of hitters will swing right over the top or catch the top half of the ball. And the Rangers have been excellent at taking advantage of double play opportunities and turning.
Hicks with his lead. And he'll draw a throw. Walker was a late sign for the Yankees. Spring training was well past the midway point before he signed with New York. Didn't sign until March 12th. That left I don't know, 2+ weeks of spring training. Possibly an explanation for the slow start to talking about a moment ago. He is slipped in very nicely for them at first base. 2-2 pitch lofted out into left field. Rua angling back. He'll have room. That is out number 1.
Let's get to our showstopper this evening, and this is a pretty unusual play. Check out Brian Dozier. This was this afternoon against the Detroit Tigers in Minnesota. He drills this ball to center field and thinks, is it a homer? No. What is it? It's stuck in the fence. Now, Leonis Martin did the right thing by putting his hands up, but you don't go in there and get that ball. You know the rules, of course. If the ball is stuck, you're not supposed to grab it. But it was still a ground rule double when it was all said and done. But what are the odds?
That'd be
what
pretty
are they?
slim.
I know that. What are they?
1 in 20.
Oh, they're way lower than that. But I mean, it's incredible to think that that went in there and got stuck the way that it did. Because you're thinking homer anyway, and then that crazy thing happens against Michael Fulmer.
All the time, yeah. This ballpark can't hold him.
Tigers won that game, by the way, by a score of 4-1.
Just off the plate. 1-1 to Andujar. A couple of hits in this one tonight. An infield hit in the first inning, and he doubled in the 5th. Part of that 6-run explosion in the 5th inning. 4 of those 6 runs were charged to Doug Fister. 2 of them charged to Tony Barnett. Barnett gave up the 2-run homer to Aaron Judge. And he got 2 quick outs and was done with the inning. Claudio has come on since. Trying to work around a leadoff single to Aaron Hicks. Getting closer over there. Hicks does have good speed. 5 steals this year and 6 tries. Andujar's been pretty steady, pretty hot lately. Ties himself up though at 1 and 2. Even he has to smile about that one,
because he doesn't see a changeup like this very often. Just kind of waiting and waiting and waiting for it to get there. It's so difficult to stay back when Alex Claudio's got that changeup working well, because he doesn't slow his arm down at all. And you just don't see speeds that are that low very often at the big league level. Oh. So the pitch before was 72 miles an hour. So Alex is just going to take another 8 miles an hour off of that one. Are you kidding? It's been 4 straight changeups to Andujar in this at bat. Make it a 5th.
He's set him up for a fastball. 2-2. Never mind. Floats one past him. Strike 3 there. 2 gone.
Such an excellent job by Alex Claudio against a good right-handed hitter. Really nice look at the changeup, and the way that he turns it over. You see, he's almost perpendicular to the ground. And just that nice turnover. That thing just floats and floats, and even Statcast can't keep up with it. Forget about Andujar. I think he's had enough Alex Claudio for one night.
Well, Romine now, and he takes a strike. Romine driven in a couple with a bases loaded walk. RBI single. Look at the speed range, 64 miles per hour on his slowest changeup. Runs the fastball at 88. And there are times when he runs that fastball and you think it was 104. It is the count 0-2 on Romine.
Well, what's so great about what Alex does when he is on is that it's the perceived velocity of his fastball as well. Like, it comes in at 86, doesn't light up the radar gun, but it's not what it looks like to hitters, especially when you know that he's got a changeup that'll be as slow as 64 miles an hour.
Another check of Hicks. Sixth inning, 10-7. There are days when a 3-run difference on the scoreboard just looks insurmountable. Then there are days like today where you can't even imagine where this one might end. Runner goes, there's a swing and a miss, and Romine strikes out for the final out of the inning. Claudio nasty leaves a man out there. We'll go to the bottom of the sixth inning, 10-7.
Ford game summary, and here we go. Lots of long balls today. Gigi Gregorius, Neil Walker, that man right there, Nomar Mazara, Ronald Guzman joining the party with a big one. Gleyber Torres has had an unbelievable series, and Aaron Judge got all of that one, drilled it into deep left center field. Lots of long balls here this evening between the Yankees and the Rangers, and really this entire series. It's pretty unbelievable. We're up to 18 home runs now. And Ronald Guzman, 4 for 8, 3 home runs of his own, 5 RBIs in his last 3 games. He is swinging a very good bat, and he is leading things off here for the Rangers in the 6th.
Yeah, and he'll see Chasen Shreve, third pitcher tonight for New York. And the first offering swung on and lined out to right field, and it drops in there for a hit. So another hit for Guzman. 2 of them tonight, including the home run earlier. And that's an important runner to have on here in the last of the 6th inning.
It certainly is. Ronald Guzman, confidence really high right now. There's a look at the 4-seam fastball, and it's up. We saw Shreve come in earlier yesterday. Really struggled to throw strikes. Comes out and he fires the first pitch fastball for a strike, and Ronald Guzman lines it into right field.
Base runner for Carlos Perez. He takes a little bit low.
Take a look at the numbers for Chasen Shreve. Game number 19 for him. See the 9 walks starting to climb up on him after yesterday's outing. 3 home runs allowed this year. Overall 202 against righties and even 200 against lefties. Nope, that is incorrect. Those are Luis Severino's numbers. 150 against lefties for Shreve, 234 against righties.
What are Severino's numbers?
I already told you. Pay attention.
Sorry.
SS, they're right there next to each other.
Ball on a strike to Perez, and he takes in 2-1 the count. Well, combined 17 runs in this thing. Combined 22 hits. We're only in the 6th inning. Double play depth on the infield. Runner goes. Perez gets a piece of it. Guzman trying to stay out of that double play. But he'll head back 2-2 the count. Perez was a waiver claim for the Rangers. They took him from Atlanta on May 2nd. Added to the Rangers 25-man roster the next day. He's gone 3 for 17 coming into today's game, and he swings and misses here. Strikes out for the first out of the 6th inning.
Center fielder, Delino, the Shields.
Well, hey, Sunday, a 2:05 game, Rangers and Royals. First 15,000 fans are going to get a Rangers cap courtesy of Carter Blood Care. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com, or you can give them a call, 972-RANGERS. The final game of the big 4-game series against Kansas City, a team that has struggled mightily this year in the American League Central.
And
Shields
they've been
takes a strike.
on a really rough run as of late, so good time to catch the Kansas City Royals. ERA over 6 over their last 13 games.
Yeah, you can't help but look ahead to that series and feel like, okay, maybe you can collect a couple extra wins there. But in fairness, I felt that way going into Chicago to see the White Sox and drop 3 out of 4 a guaranteed rate field.
Well, there are no guarantees.
You can't predict baseball, CJ. I've said it for a long time.
Even at guaranteed rate field.
Ground ball in the hole and through into left field. The Shields finally breaks through with a big hit. 2 runners on here in the 6th inning. Boy, did he need that one.
We know Delino, when he hits the ball on the ground, the batting average has been very high for him over the last couple of years, using that speed to his advantage. He talks about it's not something he does intentionally. That's usually when he is at his best. Good to see Delino get that base hit.
Well, mound visit here. Aaron Boone now making his way out of the dugout. We saw Boone get ejected yesterday, his first ejection as a manager. And he was remorseful today. Talked to him before the game, and he just felt terrible about how it went down. He takes the baseball from Shreve. We'll give it to David Robertson when we come back. Side after his media session today, asked him about his big league debut. We go back to June of 1997. All right. He's on base, base hit into right field. He's going to try and score, and he makes a nice little pop-up slide. He's called out. He's frustrated. The reaction He gets tossed. Now watch this though. He told me, he's like, I was so scared. I couldn't believe what happened. Oh my God. He said he went up into the clubhouse, and Jeff Brantley and Pete Short looked at him, and they said, Mike, we like you.
Of course, both of those guys, not surprising at all. Now, maybe not the remorse right here as much, and felt like he wanted to get his message across. Wasn't happy with the strike zone, some of the calls against his club. I got to tell you, he had a pretty good argument, I think, on that slide.
Yes.
Now, we didn't really argue. We just threw his helmet down, which is an automatic ejection. Was that Angel Hernandez?
No, it was Marty Barrett.
Oh, okay.
But here's the thing, as he pointed out, I think we had this talk the other day about somebody crossing, running across first base, and then being frustrated when they didn't get a call and getting ejected. He pointed out, he said, I wasn't arguing the call. I was just, it was a competitive play, and I was like, oh no, I'm out, and slammed my helmet down, and then next thing I know, I'm ejected. And he was just scared to death.
All the emotions that you have. Nice throw by Brian Jordan, by the way. But all the emotions that you have in these spots, like in the big leagues, chance to score, threw his helmet down. But see, now he started grabbing his head there before he got ejected. I wondered if he was upset about the call at first, and then the ejection followed, and the emotions are just too much at that point when you're making your big league debut. A couple of good teammates here, by the way. You mentioned Pete Shurik, Jeff Brantley, those guys. I play with both of them. Fantastic.
Throw back down to second base, but no chance of getting Guzman. So today he said he just talked to his dad, Bob Boone, and his dad said, what were you thinking?
Listen, I wear that with treat that as a badge of honor, man. Have a little pride, and certainly your clubhouse respects the fact that you're willing to stand up. You got to be able to do that as a manager. The worst thing that could happen, losing the clubhouse, right? You hear about it all the time. And if you feel like there have been some bad calls made against your guys, something has to be said. Whether your guys are complaining and they're wrong, it doesn't even matter. You got to be able to back them up, whether they're right or whether they're wrong. And Aaron Boone did exactly that.
2-2 pitch. That's inside to Chu. So full count now. 1 out, 2 men aboard. Robertson having a little trouble harnessing his command right here. So this game, it's gone back and forth all night. Chu has reached all 3 times he's been up. A walk and 2 singles. 10 straight games now he's reached base safely. 3-2. Holds off. That's ball 4. So they are loaded up.
What a night for Chu. 4 times on base now. A couple of walks, a couple of base hits, but the quality of the at-bats is what sticks out. Of course, we talk about this all the time with Chu, his ability to work counts. Get on base, so selective, knows the strike zone really well. He does it in a big spot to bring a potential go-ahead run to the plate.
This will be the 4th at bat tonight for the Rangers with the bases loaded. Still looking for their first hit in this situation. Kiner Falefa had a triple his last time up, 1 for 3. Rangers this season 5 for 31 with the bases loaded. Down by 3. The pitch from Robertson. Look good. It's a strike. Two and 1.
It's a slider you saw there from David Robertson. Really nothing that he throws is straight. He throws 2-seam fastball. Of course, that's going to have some movement on it. The cutter usually sits around 92. So the slider, the curveball, and mix in an occasional changeup as well. There's the cutter.
2-2. Well, you got Guzman at third, DeShields at second, Chu at first. A couple of base hits and the walk by Chu. Of course, Chu able to get way off the bag over there, with Walker shading toward the middle of the diamond. And a check swing, that one in the dirt. Didn't go. It's a full count.
interesting. Robertson is a guy who has done a pretty good job keeping the ball on the ground this year. 51% rate, but he has not induced a double play all year, and certainly we'd like to see that trend continue in this spot.
Mazzaro waiting on deck. Love to get him up there. 3-2 pitch. And kind of Falefa stays alive. Good job. It's been amazing to watch these young guys, and maybe Emily's talked to them about it a little bit in the post-game shows too. You know, by virtue of having teammates that you've played with over the years in the minor leagues, a lot of these guys look almost unnaturally comfortable up here. Kind of Falefa, looks like he's in his element.
That's hugely helpful. I mean, you think about coming to the big leagues, all the emotions. We were talking about Aaron Boone right there, right? There are a lot of times for young players, you get there, you may be one of 2 or 3 young guys. You might be the only rookie on the team. Now it's changed a little bit because we're seeing organizations push young players through systems a little bit faster now. But to have this kind of atmosphere, the Yankees even have it. That's a club that really never had that before very often because it was always a veteran club. But you got guys you play with a bunch at the minor league level that you're comfortable with. That helps in situations like this a little bit where the emotions can run pretty high.
Big 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. Kind of Falefa pushes home a run with a bases loaded walk. And the inning will continue for Mazzara. It's a 10-8 game, and Larry Rothschild headed out to the mound.
Listen, you never want to be over hyperbolic, but that was an unbelievable take and a walk in that situation, right? You're talking about a young guy, and he's done a really good job of getting on base and talking about what he's done this season. But look at this pitch. I mean, that is borderline. That is really close from a veteran reliever to a rookie right-hander in a big spot, and a lot of guys will expand the zone in those spots. Yeah, David Robertson came in and walked the first batter that he faced, but it's Chu. Chu does a great job at getting on. You're thinking, man, base hit here, extra base hit here, and I'm changing this game. And you get excited about being in a big spot, and you usually see young guys start to chase in those spots. That was a big league take in a big spot for kind of Falefa.
Chips away at the lead. Bases are still loaded. And now Mazzara, and a 2-run homer in the 4th, RBI single in the 5th. Rangers have drawn 18 walks in this series. Perhaps none bigger than that last one by Kiner Falefa. So the big left-handed slugger, and he takes it low for a ball. Rangers won yesterday 6-4. Gives them an opportunity to win the series today if they can complete the comeback. Good low strike by Robertson, 1-1.
And an opportunity to break a string for the Yankees, who have won 8 straight series.
One pitch. Strike 2. Now, we talk a lot about strikeouts and how much they hurt, how much are they insignificant. Spot like this, you really want something other than the strikeout, something in the air to the outfield that could possibly and likely score Delino from third base. A great speed there, 90 feet away. Choose a good base runner at second, and Kiner Falefa is proven to be a very good base runner over at first. So a lot of speed out there. You don't have to hit it over the fence. Check swing. Did not go.
A lot of check swings this inning from the Rangers. We'll take a look at the side here. And did Nomar Mazzara offer at this pitch? He did not.
Tim Timmons said no.
Hoberg,
it's
right?
No. Tim Timmons.
Oh, they switched? What happened?
Well, I don't know what happened, but there was a late adjustment on the umpiring crew.
Oh, really?
Hoberg moved to second.
Nobody told me.
2-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. So Mazzara strikes out. Second out of the inning. All is not lost.
Take a look at the breaking ball. That's a good one right at the bottom of the zone and tight. Good velocity on the curveball. We saw one earlier in this at bat at 83 miles per hour, and then that ball in the dirt that Nomar Mazara was able to hold his swing up on. Also, a knuckle curveball from David Robertson. It's a good one. Nomar saw 3 in a row.
So base is still loaded now for Profar. He hits one well. Out to right center field. Judge won't get to it. It goes to the wall. Delano's in. Chu is in. Kiner Falefa scores. A bases clearing double by Profar. And the Rangers are back in front. Unbelievable.
Well, right on time for Jurickson Profar, who we talked about in our open, and the RBIs for him over his last 5 games. There have been 8 of them, making 11 now over his last 6. He gets a first pitch to handle. Little cutter that didn't look like it did very much. Came back over the middle of the plate, and he was all over it. Drills this thing in the gap, but no doubter right off the bat into the gap. And with 2 outs, easy to clear the bases with the Rangers and Isaiah Kiner Falefa, a good runner. That Ranger bench is happy, and that man right there gets it done once again.
Getting used to that smile.
It's a pretty good one.
Yep. Now we'll see if Odor can add to it. 11-10 Rangers. Robertson puts it on the inside corner. 24 combined hits in this game. 21 total runs. Almost through 6 innings. 0-2.
Thanks.
Five-run 4th inning, 2 runs in the 5th, 4 so far here in the 6th inning for the Rangers. Odor swings and misses strike 3. And the inning is done, but the Rangers, plate 4, retake the lead. It's arena baseball here tonight. Jurickson Profar bases clearing double. Rangers lead at 11-10.
Bottom of the 6th, thanks to a Jurickson Profar bases clearing double. And in talking to Jurickson Profar last night, he says he really is starting to feel like his old self, the one before injuries, the one before his uncertain future, and really has embraced the consistent playing time. And I noticed a sign in his locker today that said, "Don't try too hard. Enjoy yourself and everything will come." And it seems like that relaxed approach is really working for Jurickson so far.
That's pretty cool right there, and thinking about how guys handle this game mentally, little things like that, reminders. Easier said than done at the big league level to relax and have fun. I think especially in the situation that Jurchen Profar is in right now, out of options coming into spring training. Wasn't quite sure what his role was going to be. Looked like it was just going to be a platoon role. He got thrust into the starting lineup with all the injuries that the Rangers have had, and so it's been a huge opportunity for him. And he always looks like he's relaxed, having fun, but you never know what's going on. A lot of times on the inside compared to the outside, but he does a good job of doing what that man right there does very well, Elvis Andrus, which is relaxing, having fun, and being good at baseball.
2 balls and a strike on Gleyber Torres. Now Claudio spun a scoreless 6th inning. It's that one in there, and it's 2-2 on Torres.
There's that changeup, that one up in the zone a little bit. We'll take it as a strike.
His 3rd straight strikeout, and a big one to get Torres, because he has been a terror in this series. 1 away in the 7th.
Just so devastating, this changeup, and you see these couple of these young hitters with the New York Yankees. We saw Andahar really struggle on this changeup. We've watched Torres look at ones for strikes and then chase this one out of the zone. They just don't see this very often, and it's difficult to adjust. They've been good against good pitching. Not to say Alex Claudio's not good, but it's a different look that you just don't get to see very often.
Gardner now, and he holds off at strike 1. Couple of doubles for Gardner. His last one, a great hustle double on his part. You have to tip your cap to the way he came out of the box. Read the play and used his wheels to get an extra base that for most guys would not have been there. He's in a hole now, 0-2. One out, nobody on here in the 7th inning. What a wild series. Claudio's 0-2. Didn't miss by much. Good crowd here tonight, over 31,000, and a lot of them dialed into each pitch at this point. Hard to take your eyes off it. The ball's been flying all over the place. Bouncer first base. Guzman has it. He'll give it to Claudio, and he gets there just in the nick of time. Wow, that was close. 3-1 put out. There are 2 gone.
It's a good job by Alex Claudio to get over there in time. You can make no assumptions. Look how close this is. Just a half a step, as Brett Gardner has really showed some pretty tremendous hustle in this game. Never making any assumptions.
Well, here comes Jeff Bannister. So he'll take the baseball from Alex Claudio with Aaron Judge coming up. It's going to be Jose Leclerc out of the pen. And by the way, what a great entree into Star Wars weekend, which will begin early tomorrow. First 15,000 fans on Saturday get a Star Wars Han Gallo bobblehead, courtesy of Medical City Healthcare. Saturday, 3:05, Rangers Royals. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com. Yeah, it's a Star Wars weekend, a holiday weekend. And it starts with game 1 tomorrow against Kansas City. Jose Leclerc on for the 16th time this year. Righty on righty here against Aaron Judge.
Yeah, you got to play the odds here, of course. We know how dangerous Judge can be. And it's interesting because he's got a bad batting average against lefties this year, just 174. But I still like the idea of taking your chances against the righty. Jose Leclerc, when he is on, is really good. The only thing that gets in Jose Leclerc's way is that command once in a while. But other than that, he's been fantastic. 167 against righties, 071 against lefties. There's that beautiful cut changeup that he works so well. And that's the spot to go to. Aaron Judge, yes, you have to be careful allowing him to get his arms extended, but right here on the corner and then expanding the zone with that same exact pitch is a good move. Run the fastball up and in as well, but I like the idea of Jose going back down and away off the plate this time with that changeup.
1-2.
They were actually going to go hard down and away with the fastball. Ended up being up in a little bit, but up enough that it was out of the zone. And that's one of those situations where Jose's better off missing by a lot than missing by a little. If he misses by a little right there, that ball's down the middle. We know what Aaron Judge can do to fastballs down the middle.
Well, he just held off. 2 out here, nobody on. Pitch to Judge. Didn't go after it. Full count.
That's a good one right there. Tell you what, Glorious on deck. Not a terrible idea to be very careful here. There's a changeup. I don't necessarily give in and just throw him a strike. Yes, the idea of bringing the go-ahead run to the plate is not ideal, but Jose's been good against lefties this season.
3-2 to Judge. Popped him up. Right side of the infield. Odor wants it. He'll take it, and the inning is over. So 1-2-3, top of the 7th. Rangers holding on to the 1-run lead. To 10 the scores. We get to the bottom of the 7th inning here. Hey, Saturday on FS1, Rangers host the Kansas City Royals. Coverage begins at 3 o'clock Central on FS1. I'm sure there'll be some big-time network announcers for that one.
You know it, buddy.
Then at 6 o'clock Central on Fox. Some of the biggest stars in baseball are on Fox. Jose Altuve and the Astros take on Francisco Lindor and the Indians. That'll be the number 2 announcing team in the Fox family, I would suspect.
Huh. Keep going. Definitely not number 2. Number 1 in your heart, I hope.
All right, Dylan Betances has come on here in the bottom of the 7th inning for New York. Bottom of the order due for the Rangers.
And it's not a typo. 34 strikeouts in 19 innings for Betances. He has got that kind of arm, that kind of swing and miss stuff. He also has had that issue right there. And last year was particularly bad for Dylan Betances with a walk rate that really had gotten kind of out of control and a little bit concerning for the New York Yankees. Watch this here, trying to throw a fastball down the middle, 97 miles an hour, and it runs up and in. His walk rate last year, 6.6 walks per 9 innings. Now he's corrected that this year at 2.8. That was concerning for them, and he hasn't given up anything on the strikeout side. I mean, he has been an absolute horse for this club. But the strikeout rate for his career has been 14.5 per 9 this year, better than 16 per 9.
Oh, good breaking ball for a strike. 1-2 on Rua.
The one trade-off with Betances has been that the hits are up for him. He has been incredibly dominant in that regard, has not let up very many hits over the course of his career. Only 4.4 per 9. That's an absurdly low number last year, but this year coming back a little bit closer to league average.
Well, he gets Rule looking. That's how we begin the bottom of the 7th inning. Time for Chevy game break. Let's say hello again to Dana Larson. Okay, thanks, Dana. Ronald Guzman, a fly ball short right, and Judge able to get to it. So 2 away.
So I guess nothing to be made of that Jacob deGrom elbow injury situation, right? Kind of unusual. He's throwing the ball really well for the Mets. Ronald Guzman trying to get out in front of something early. Got jammed a little bit, and you see him wincing there. That's a jam shot. That probably ran down his elbow a little bit. You see how far in that ball got. I think that will be anything significant. Hopefully not.
Carlos Perez 0 for 3 with a strikeout, and he takes 99 down the middle. Not fair to come back with a break ball like that. 0-2. Now Betances, that is quite the weapon. 6'8", 265 pounds. Big right-hander's 0-2 pitch. Flared over to the right side, out of play. You know, these two clubs, we talk a lot about the size of Gallo and Guzman, and you know, the Rangers can line up some pretty hefty tight ends. So can the Yankees. It's a swing and a miss, and Perez strikes out. It's a 1-2-3 7th inning of Betances, and he needed just 9 pitches to do it. Let's head to the 8th inning. It's a 1-run game. by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today. Ford is the best in Texas. Beautiful look at downtown Dallas, and the moon off in the distance tonight. Somebody might just hit one all the way there if we're not careful.
Just so you know, the moon is actually off the distance every night.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Some days it looks a lot closer. It's pretty far right there. Well, it's the 8th inning. Chris Martin has come on here and will face the heart of the order in this 8th inning.
There's the pitch arsenal. 94 miles an hour on average with that fastball, curveball, cutter. Uses both of those quite a bit. You see the fastball usage at just 42%. And so Martin has done a nice job of mixing it up so far this year. Been better against righties than lefties, but he'll get Didi Gregorius to start this 8th inning off. And you just mentioned it, heart of the order. It's a good time that, where that conversation happens. Do you want your best arm right now available? Throwing the 8th inning, going through 3, 4, 5 with a 1-run lead. Chris Martin does his job. Your closer, Kello, at least technically, should have the easier opportunity to get to the bottom of the order.
Oh, beautiful start to this one as he gets strike 1 past Gregorius. You were referencing it last inning. Gregorius, though he did homer earlier, has struggled over a long stretch now. Sends this one foul. It's 0-2.
He had a couple of good at-bats in the first game after they gave him a couple of days off to kind of rest, reset. And he hit the ball hard a couple of times, and some pitches that was a double. He hit the other way in the gap, and that's always a good sign. But I think he's still, based on the home run that we saw, looking for pitches in, pulling off a little bit. So in for effect, kind of pitching away. You see this fastball they want up and away is kind of the spot to go, the way to treat Didi Gregorius right now.
1-2 the count.
Not uncommon at all. Guy struggling a little bit, but you see him spinning off, getting dead pulls. Not too many guys are in a slump because they're trying to hit the ball the other way too much.
1-2 pitch to him, and he pulls it on the right side of the infield. Gregor has to hustle it, gets it there though in time. Gregorius is out number 1.
Designated hitter Giancarlo Stanton.
Good job throwing something away and getting Didi Gregorius to pull off of it, roll over it, hit that ground ball. Good job by Rougned Odor. These Yankees, man, they get after it down the line, taking nothing for granted. Didi Gregorius tried to make this close. It's the big one here now for Chris Martin.
Big Giancarlo Stanton. 1 for 4, and he takes strike 1.
So there's this kind of conversation you always have when you're trying to finish out a game and you get there late. And what you often say is that you don't want to finish a game in. But we have seen the Rangers do a really nice job of dominating Stanton in so far. Now this will be back-to-back pitches in which Chris Martin will be going away, trying to go away. And Stanton, you can get him to expand the zone, chase pitches away. These are kind of interesting spots to be in. This is where the data really matters. You got to dig in, know which breaking ball. Stanton a lot worse on the slider against righties than the curveball and the cutter.
1-2
there. He's actually really struggled against fastballs as well. But there's the breaking ball down below the zone. You see him pulling off a little bit. The temptation to throw a 2-seam fastball in right now is definitely real, but expanding the zone, there's an opportunity. It looks like they're going to go away.
Just missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Big Giancarlo Stanton.
Good spot right there. Just off the plate. See if you can get him to chase. He doesn't. Still have the opportunity if you want to go back in. Something that runs in or go another breaking ball below the zone.
A little tight. Good heat there at 95 miles per hour.
Now,
full count.
That did hit him. They're going to call that a hit by pitch.
It hit his hand. Oh my goodness. And that is a delayed call. Stanton never indicated that he thought that was the case.
He sure did not.
Unless he was looking into the dugout trying to tell his manager to check the replay. But let's take another look.
Four-seam fastball had good velocity on it. It was running in on Stanton. And that did not hit him. And so this is a play you can challenge. You can challenge a hit by pitch. I don't see why the Rangers would not, especially in this spot. You have absolutely nothing to lose. I don't even wait. See right here. Hesitation, hesitation. See Stanton, that's interesting, right? He was the first one that said, hey, maybe check that out, even though he didn't react.
I wonder if he was just trying to, you know, sell that notion. So Banny is going to challenge it. And you can hear the fans react here in the ballpark. Our Ford replay review. It's a hit by pitch at the moment.
Oh, I mean, this is big, man, huh? What a game, and we're talking about a hit by pitch that could be all the difference in the world. And the worst part, and this should get called back. I say the worst part, that should happen. But then, you know, for Chris Martin sitting around right now, and you have to make a 3-2 pitch. If Stanton would come back, that should be ball 3, should be a full count. This is an unbelievable amount of time in between potential pitches, assuming this does get turned over.
Yeah, I think that's an important and worthwhile observation, right? As a pitcher, you never had to deal with this, but I would think this would not be a lot of fun.
No, Chris Martin will throw a couple. I mean, either way, regardless, even if it stands, you still want to be able to throw a little bit in between. You don't want to lose the rhythm that you're in, and this is why having replay and having it be efficient is really important. Moments like this as well. Man, look, he's frustrated that this hasn't been turned over yet. I think he's frustrated too because the initial call was not made, and he feels like what he saw right there was an umpire and Nick Lentz that got influenced by a player.
Yeah, I think he's frustrated that this even has to go to a review.
Yep, and mad about Chris Martin having to sit around.
And he can tell, look, the longer it goes, the worse your chances are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
I'm with Banny on this
wow.
one. That is something else. All right. Now, because this game didn't have enough intrigue of its own.
Hopefully,
Stanton is on now for Hicks.
And hopefully this is something that really doesn't influence the game at all, because it's been kind of a wild game with the offense that we have seen. But the idea that that call could end up swaying the way that this game finishes out would be pretty brutal.
Hicks takes strike 1. Now, let me pose a little devil's advocate here.
Go ahead, Satan. What do you got?
Maybe it's not the worst thing that could happen.
Okay, double play.
Well, right. You take the bat out of Stanton's hands, and you know, on some level, if you're Stanton and if you're Aaron Boone, you'd rather have him swinging. Pickoff throw over to first, almost got him. Wow. And Banny now, he's almost looking for trouble.
Let's take a look here. Stanton wasn't going anywhere. There's the throw. There's the tag. Boy, that is close. Looked like the right hand just got in there.
So Hicks has a couple of hits today. Martin buries it. It's 2-2.
Good job by Perez to block that ball. Big spot right now. You're trying to keep Stanton out of scoring position as much as possible. Those are the kind of things that sometimes get unnoticed.
Hicks has good speed and has not been doubled up this year. There's one thing the Rangers have done quite well the last couple of years. Inside, that one gets away, and there goes Stanton. So forget any idea of a double play. A hit batter and a wild pitch has the tying run now in scoring position.
Let's take a look here at this breaking ball down in the dirt, and Perez backhanded it instead of getting down and trying to block it. Maybe that ball ended up bouncing a little bit further in front of him than he originally thought. He probably thought it was going to be a short pick, and so he wanted to go backhand. That pitch had a little bit more depth than expected.
Fly ball, short left field. I mean, very short. Rua comes in plenty. 2 gone.
First baseman
And here comes Neil Walker. 11-10 Rangers lead, top of the 8th inning.
Boy, what an emotional game this has been, and certainly this 8th inning. Chris Martin in for the Rangers, and now just a huge opportunity here. If he can get through Neil Walker, get the Rangers out of this inning, it would be the bottom of the order. It's a good bottom of the order. That's the other thing we were just talking about. You think about Andujar and Torres would be due up if they can get through this one for Kelly in the 9th. First things first, you got to get Neil Walker.
A little high. Walker's homered, singled. Twice he is flat out to left. Switch hitter bats left-handed here against the right-hander, Arlington native Chris Martin. Martin, who played for the Yankees earlier in his career. Walker with a high fly ball out to right field, but got underneath it. Chu is there. Inning is done. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning. Banny's still steaming, but his team leads by 1. Lead by 1. Zara played a big role in this one as well. And tomorrow you can go out and see him at Whataburger, 3204 Townies Boulevard in Mesquite. Get there by 10:30. That's where the autograph session will begin. And then you can sign up to be a Whataburger Whata fan. You can win tickets to a Rangers game as well as Whataburger for a year. Go to TexasRangers.com/appearances for more information. We'll see Maz tomorrow. He's due up 4th this inning. Delano DeShields will lead it off. Had a base hit his last time up. And Dylan Betances stays out there. I guess why not? He was pretty nasty in the 7th. Breaking ball, and it's 0-2. Shields 1 for 4 so far.
Done a good job this year against high velocity, 96 mile an hour and higher against righties. 2 for 8, so he's got a couple of hits this year. Not surprising, Chu on deck has been excellent. 417 batting average against high velocity fastballs from righties. Talk about that a lot with him. So quick to the ball, sees it well. Not a guy whenever you're facing him that you're just going to think back, rear back, throw it as hard as you can and get it by him. He's too good. Even this late in his career. 35 years old, can still get to good velocity.
I know a little late here, 0-2. The Shields had been in a pretty bad slide. Had a day off yesterday, and with that day off, worked a little and some mechanics. Today has turned in at least one hit. Might get another here. 0-2 pitch. Whoa! Well behind him. 1-2.
It was off speed and certainly no intent there, but that is what really plagued Betances last year. Now he seems to have gotten it under control because every once in a while corks one. Gratefully didn't hit Delino, and thankfully it wasn't a fastball either.
This one gets away, strike 3, and Delino will leg it out. So a strikeout and a wild pitch, and DeShields is aboard.
I think you'll take it right now. Betances had been locked in. You see the nastiness of this breaking ball and how much Delino missed it by. And we tried to stop his swing. He does a good job. A lot of times you'll see hitters do this and argue with the umpire whether or not they swung. Drop the bat and run. That's exactly what Delino did. Because you're not going to get an umpire to change his mind anyway. So good heads-up play by Delino.
Now you've got great speed out there at first base. Chu steps in. He's reached base every time he's come up. And he takes inside.
And a good opportunity here as well. One of the other struggles for Betances over the course of his career, holding runners. I mentioned Romine has thrown the ball well this year, but this is almost a given. I have to believe that you're going to see Delino DeShields make an attempt at a stolen base.
There goes Delino, and this one fouled right over Beasley's head down there at third, and that third base coach's box. Tony got down. It's all good.
65 stolen bases against Dellin Betances in his career. It's just been a big issue being slow to the plate. You know, Romine knows it too, and that's the other part of this is you get yourself in a breaking ball count. You try to get Romine to maybe hop out of that crouch. You talked about it yesterday a little bit with Gary Sanchez with the fake break. There's certainly that opportunity if the ball is down low. If he comes out too early, could easily see Delino making it all the way to third.
Delino a little slower getting back to the base right there, but got in ahead of it. 1-1 on Chu, and another toss over there, and this one gets away. Delino hops up. He'll have second base easily. Well, that one nowhere near Neil Walker. Throwing error by Betances. Sometimes you don't have to steal the base. They'll give it to you.
Well, that's the other part of it, right, is that you know he's probably going. We know Dellin Betances has had some command issues, gets the thing a little bit right where it gets away from him, and it did in that spot, not throwing a pitch, but throwing over to first, and the pressure that the speed of Delino DeShields puts on opposing teams shows up once again.
Now Chu can drive him home. He looks to bunt. Pulled back in time, or did he? No, he did not. They check it at third. Tim Timmons rings it up as a strike.
Interesting decision there by Chu, just trying to get Delino over, I guess, any way that you can. As I mentioned, so good on high velocities over the course of his career. I think I'd rather see him take a hack. With 2 strikes, he certainly will.
He strikes out swinging, 1 away here in the 8th inning. So how about this news tomorrow, the opening game of the Kansas City series? We take a look at our Ford probable. It's the return of ABD, Austin Bibbins-Dirks. Last year, 6 starts, all the relief appearances, a 5-2 record. He's coming back. He'll be called up tomorrow to make the start and the opener against the Royals. 7:05 first pitch. Pregame will begin at 6:30. Delino running. The pitch is high, and no throw offered. DeShields with his 9th stolen base of the year.
It's a great time to go. First pitch of an at-bat after the strikeout. Sometimes you can get a pitcher to relax a little bit, not pay attention. He did look, but it was one look, and Delino was gone right away. Surprised Romine didn't at least try to throw that ball. I don't think he would have got him, but I think it would have been close. But whether he didn't have a grip on the ball, whatever it may be, or thought he just didn't have a chance to get to Shields.
A flare out to right field. That one will score to Shields. Kiner Falefa drives in another one. Rangers on top 12-10. Well, they had the infield in with the Shields at third base, and it allowed that one to drop in unmolested.
Kiner Falefa has been so fun to watch this year. It's the approach in a big spot, staying inside that ball, knowing that the infield is in. It was a great job of just putting the ball in play. Didn't hit it very hard, but did exactly what he needed to do in that RBI situation. He had been 0 for 7 against high-velocity fastballs at 96 miles an hour or harder.
Now he's going. The throw down to second. Not in time. Kiner Falefa with a stolen base, his 4th of the year. Boone asking for a moment for his crew to take a look at that in the clubhouse.
Great job again going first pitch, knowing that something big just happened with the base hit and the run scored. That foot got in there, and I think, even though it looked like his foot might have popped off, let's see first and foremost. He got in there. The question is whether or not he popped off for a second, and that's close now. Didi Gregorius looked like he got pushed back a little bit. It's safe there. The question becomes, there's not enough there to turn it over.
I don't think so. Meanwhile, they're taking a look out there.
They're going to ask.
Gregorius.
Nope. No, they're not.
That athletic trainer out there to make sure he's all right. He came up looking a little funny after that play. He says he's okay. So Kiner Falefa with a steal of second base. Another man in scoring position. Oh, the Rangers been aggressive here in the 8th inning. A strikeout wild pitch. Errant pickoff throw to first, put the Shields to second. He stole third and then scored on the flare to right. And then immediately Kiner Falefa off and running. Rangers 4 for 10 with runners in scoring position tonight. 1-1 to Nomar Mazara.
That's been a good inning for the Rangers, doing the little things right, finding ways. It all started with that strikeout wild pitch. Good heads up play by Delino, putting some pressure on Betances to get to second, stealing third. Good at bat by Kiner Falefa, and him stealing second. It's kind of knowing your opponent, doing your homework, making sure you're prepared. Good quality approach in the at bat and the RBI situation. All those little things. As much as we talk about the power game, big swings, home runs, little things, especially when you're going up against good teams and really good pitchers, those things still matter a lot.
Called strike makes it 2-2. Mazara and the 2-run homer back in the 4th inning. Infield hit that brought in a run in the 5th. 2 for 4. Bounces this one toward the middle. Gregorius on the backhand throws to first. And they'll get Mazara second out of the inning. Kiner Falefa moves to third. But there are 2 outs now.
Really nice play by Didi Gregorius in this spot, especially after getting spiked by Isaiah Kiner Falefa on that stolen base. He's got a range far to his right, and that's an awkward throw. You don't throw balls from that angle very often, but that's one of those deals that the shift creates. It was a good play.
Gets Profar up again. He's the one who delivered in the 6th inning. Bases clearing double. 2 for 3 with a walk. Run scored and 3 RBIs. How about that? 11 runs batted in the last 6 games, most in Major League Baseball. He has been productive. Off the handle, rolled slowly to second base, but easy play for Torres. Inning is done. Rangers, though, scratch out a pretty big insurance run for that man, Keone Kela, coming in to try and save it tonight. He'll have the bottom of the order. Miguel Andujar, Austin Romine, Gleyber Torres coming up.
Shame on you. What a game we are witnessing here tonight. Rangers just adding to their lead and now have 3 critical outs ahead of them. Dana Larson along with David Murphy and Mark McLemore, and we will have Rangers Live, the post-game show, coming up right after the game. Mac, no shortage of things to talk about for us.
None whatsoever. We're all gonna talk hitting, pitching, defense, base running, and hopefully a Rangers win.
Yeah, the game started at 6 o'clock tonight. I think all the hitters confused the game time with batting practice time, so it looked like batting practice all night long.
That makes sense, David Murphy. I love it. We've got a lot to get to, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Dana. And to Mac's point, let's hope that a large part of the conversation involves a win here as Keller tries to save it for second night in a row.
Yeah, you see the fastball, the average 96 miles an hour. The curveball, just a very simple 2-pitch mix, but one that he has used extremely well. And for Keller, a guy that fastball is live, work it down in the zone, up in the zone to elevate late has been really good for him. But he's got, listen, we talked about bottom of the order. I mentioned it earlier. This is not an easy bottom of the order by any means. Andujar, you got Romine, but it looks like we're going to see Gary Sanchez, who's come out on deck to pinch hit. So you're talking about Andujar, Sanchez, and Torreyes. 7, 8, 9. Got to find that anywhere else in the big leagues.
Only one pitch. Little nubber and foul. Kelly yesterday was perfect in the 9th inning. And it was important because if he had allowed just one runner, he would have had to have faced Aaron Judge. You can see the only pitcher in baseball with 9 saves and 3 wins. And he is tied with the most saves without a blown save so far this year. 9 for 9. In the dirt, 2-2. So a 2-run Rangers lead. You'd call it improbable, perhaps, if you're aware of the 6-run 5th inning the Yankees had. There have been a couple of knockout blows delivered by both teams, but this is like one of the early Rocky movies. Everybody keeps getting up off the canvas. There's a swing and a miss. Andujar strikes out. He was somewhat confused.
Well, I was confused as well. We'll see the breaking ball first in the dirt. And a good job by Perez. Good block. Jumps up and gets the tag. But what was so confusing about it, they made the call. But even after they made the call, I was like, wait, did I have the count wrong? Because what happened was Nick Lentz, the home plate umpire, gave Perez a new ball to throw around the infield after the strikeout. And I don't know if it's because they're going to change that ball out, of course, because it went in the dirt. Say, let me give you a new one first. Throw that one around. So I don't have to ask Keller for the ball back and exchange it. I guess. I don't know if I've seen that before. Here's a new ball to throw around the infield. Right?
Yeah, no, it definitely seemed the whole scene was a little weird. But the good news is it was a strikeout. Gary Sanchez pinch hitting for Romine. And he takes high for a ball.
That's a big first out for Keller. Doesn't get any easier, as we mentioned, what's coming up here for the New York Yankees.
Ooh, Bender in there. And it's 1-1.
I like that approach. You come in, you got a pinch hitter, you know, you got a good fastball hitter in Gary Sanchez. And so come in and throw a couple of breaking balls first, because more often than not, your pinch hitters are coming out swinging. They don't want to get deep in the count. This will be the 7th time that we've seen Gary Sanchez taking a bat as a pinch hitter. He has never gotten a hit, struck out 5 times.
Tried to check his swing, but he went 1-2. He doesn't seem real sure of that, but I thought that was pretty clear.
Take a look here. That side swing, did he offer? Yeah, that was pretty close. I love it. Hold it there. See, this is where I went. Well, that's a lie. We know you went a little further and brought it back. 3 in a row. You go fastball here up out of the zone, try to get him a chase, or maybe do we see that breaking ball once again? Not for a strike, but below the zone or right at the bottom of the zone.
1-2.
Oh, yeah.
Got him with the heat. Sanchez turned back-to-back punch-outs by Keone Keller.
What a great start to this 9th inning, and I got to believe Gary Sanchez just does not enjoy pinch hitting at all. After the breaking ball in the dirt, that 98 probably looks about 102 to Sanchez, who has now struck out 6 times in 8 plate appearances as a pinch hitter.
Now Keller 1 out away from saving his 12-10 Rangers lead and giving the Rangers a series win. Over Torres. He swings and misses strike 1.
So effective, the philosophy here of Kella, pitching backwards, breaking balls early, fastballs late.
Big swing and a miss, more heat, 0-2. Well, this guy has just absolutely thrived in the role. 9 for 9 in saves. He's got those guys behind him. And he's been summoning the heat. Here it comes. Curveball, got him! Strikes out Torres, and the Yankees in order in the 9th. And Kella saves this one, 12-10 Rangers over the Yankees. And what a wild Wednesday it was.
Absolute domination by Kella to finish this game out. 3 strikeouts, no doubters. Came in and shut the door, didn't even make it close. The Yankees have no chance here against this great breaking ball and the great fastball that we saw this inning. You see Torres just way out front. Kella is really in a groove right now. He is feeling it, understands it. He has been great in the role, and a solid reaction from the crowd. They love it as well. Fantastic game, always a little bit more fun when you do it against the Yankees, and this is the first time in 9 series in which they did not win a series after 8 straight, and what a game. 25 hits, 22 runs.
You know, that last homestand, they beat Detroit to get their first home series win. And now they've won back-to-back home series. This one knocking off the team with the best record in baseball when they came in. So the Rangers get this homestand started in fine fashion, 12-10. The final score to take 2 out of 3. So many heroes. Jurickson Profar, though, chief among them, and he's standing by with Emily.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jurickson. Take me through the at-bat on the bases clearing double. What was going through your mind? What were you seeing?
I know he got a great curveball. I faced him, I think, last night. And, you know, I was just trying to look for the curveball, but he threw me a cutter and put a good swing on it.
When you have a performance like this, when you guys offensively come back and keep coming back, what does it do for you guys confidence-wise?
It gains us a lot of confidence. We know we have a great team, and to show it like that tonight, you know, it boosts our confidence.
And big to take 2 of 3 from the Yankees, a team with the best record in baseball. Where do you guys feel like you are at as a team?
We getting better. That's for sure. We're getting better every day, and we believe in ourselves. You know, I believe in those guys. We haven't been showing it yet, but series like this show it. Like, you know, we coming. I
noticed a sign in your locker that says, "Don't try too hard. Just have fun, and everything will come." Where did that come from, and how does that motivate you?
There was a couple weeks ago. I wasn't having very good at bats. I was trying too hard, and I went home. It was late, and I was watching a movie called Pelé, the soccer player, and his dad told him that after, you know, he wasn't having a good games, and his dad tell him that, and, you know, it helped him, and that's why I put it in my locker to remember myself every night.
Well, it seems like you're having fun, and everything appears to be coming, Jurickson. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Guys, we'll send it back up to you.
That is awesome. Pele gave him the good advice, and it's working out for Profar. What a win tonight, 12-10, our final score. So much more to come. Dana Larson, Mark McLemore, David Murphy, they're ready to break this one down for you tonight. For CJ Nitkowski and Emily Jones, I'm Dave Raymond, inviting you to stay with us. More coverage of tonight's win over the Yankees coming up next.